of yours, we're going to attack it.
Yeah, it definitely looks weaker this tournament around as well. And I'm curious where OpTic will actually decide to send things. For their map pick, there's a couple of good options. I think Bind is a pretty obvious one, honestly, because that has slipped through. I mean, Team Liquid, they've struggled in it in the past. It's not a map that they like to play too much. And it's a great one for OpTic. They, at times, look like one of the best teams in the world when they play on Bind. So, yeah, an obvious choice for them, I think, to be able to take this one. It will mean that we probably won't see Pearl. I imagine it's just going to go down in the second round. Bans. Zero chance, I think, they'll want to let that one get through. But we'll see. We could be surprised. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, given just they had a pretty devastating loss on Pearl when they went up against PRX. It was they only were able to take up 4 rounds, so it was a really, really rough one. And given that OpTic were able to take down Loud on that map, I think it's just the safest bet for Team Liquid to just go ahead and take that one off the field. But whether you want to try to drive this for a last map is kind of the bigger question.
I'm back. Sampai datang di watch party Valorant Champion.
Yeah, but
sambil nonton watch party kita main mancing.
Staying away from Icebox as well in recent times, so I imagine we'll see the Icebox ban. And yeah, so it's going to be Ascent as a decider. And overall, I got to say the map pool. I mean, listen, this might be like for Liquid. The NA green card bias in my brain, but I'm leaning towards this map pool suiting OpTic a little bit better.
Interesting.
I mean, as well, I'm still thinking, you know, Breeze as well has been a bit of a weak map for them in this tournament, but recently they have looked really good at it, especially when Victor is playing a Jet at top performance at a top level. That looks like a really good map for them. Bind should be a really good map for them, and Ascent's a really good map for them as well. So I think it is going to be a bit of an uphill battle for Liquid, but I am not going to be doubting this team in the slightest, because I think Liquid have shown a lot of kind of maturing, I think, over the course of this tournament, especially with the layers of strategy they've been including, with Emil as their coach coming in. And of course, I mean, the skill's never in doubt with the Liquid players as well.
Yeah, I mean, I widely agree. I think that OpTic
yang tadi di-upload buat member. Yang tadi buat member doang.
I think if OpTic walk away taking Breeze,
I think
it's done. I
don't know. I look at the series and I feel because of what's happening here, sometimes you kind of have those like event metas, you know, or like the event situations. And I don't know. I feel like Liquid have a little bit of an. I think Bind is going to be OpTic through and through. I think they got that one.
It has to be a must-win, I think, on map 1 for Liquid.
Yeah, very true. Very true. All right, guys. Well, look, the map picks are in. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to bring out our 2 teams. So you don't want to go anywhere.
Apa aja yang di-pick?
Breeze, Bind, sama Ascent.
Breeze yang pick siapa?
Breeze, tim Liquid.
Bind OpTic.
Bind OpTic.
Iya sih, playgroundnya OpTic Bind sih.
Yang harus di-ban itu.
Gak di-ban, justru itu di-pick sama OpTic.
Oh, gua kira di-ban sama si ini.
Yang di-ban Icebox, Pearl, sama Heaven.
Cuman di RX menang ya? Mantap deh.
Menang, bocil-bocil Korea itu.
Banget itu bocil Korea, bro.
Tapi sebenarnya dari champion yang sebelumnya juga dia ngeri sebenarnya itu.
Dia clean sheet itu 2-0.
Iya.
Enggak, maksudnya yang tahun lalu itu sebenarnya bagus, cuman nggak oke tuh ketemu ini.
Kamu siapa?
Dia itu kan lawan PRX menang, terus ketemu siapa jadi kalah ya?
Nggak ada.
Tahun lalu.
Oh, yang tahun lalu.
Tahun lalu ya. Ini tahun lalu sebenarnya bagus, cuman kurang aja, dia kurang hoki.
Besok ketemunya Load, bro.
Load menang jadi, gimana Leviathan kocak.
Dibantai 2-0 anjir.
Leviathan bakal lawan FPX nih.
Ikan.
Besok.
Ayo dong, dimakan dong, bos. Iya.
Kira-kira siapa yang menang map 1? Ya kalau secara mapik harusnya sih, gua nggak pernah lihat OpTic main di Breeze sih.
OpTic main di Breeze kalah kok.
Sama siapa, PRX?
Sama Load.
Nah iya makanya, gua nggak pernah lihat OpTic main di Breeze gitu.
Sama Boom aja kan 18.
Oh iya bener, iya kayak lemah deh OpTic di Breeze, harusnya kalah. Harusnya 2-1 sih ini sih.
Wah ini mah gak ada gold ya, easy nih.
Bang jangan dukung siapa-siapa, enggak gue dukung OpTic. Masa curse gue ada lagi aja, kagak lah.
Kalian siap dukung Devin kalah ya?
Iya, yang gitu dong.
Anjir, Wonten Whitefish bukan. Ini Sogar di mana kan di sini Sogar.
Tapi TL juga kemarin Jumpy keras sih bro, Jumpy Gaming. Cuma di OpTic ada siapa? Yeay!
Oh, pakai ini biar mantep.
Gua nggak sabar nih ngeliat Yampi lawan Ye ini.
Ah,
Iya kan nih, OpTic Ye kan nih Jok ya?
OpTic.
Ya kan ada Ye kan OpTic.
Iya. Kayaknya iya deh. Yang lawan PRX siapa?
OpTic. Iya ada Ye bener.
Iya, bener.
Ini dia guys. Yeay. Yeay, kita lihat nih Babang Ye ini. AWP God kita.
Welcome back to Champions Istanbul. It's time
It's
to meet the
time.
first two
In
teams
the back.
in our NA EMEA battle for supremacy. Let's hear it for OpTic Gaming and Team Liquid.
Panjang.
Nggak berasa banget anjir. Woi, ultinya Sogger nih bos. Ini ikan apa? Ikan CR ya? Ngomongnya di sini mah.
Panjang. Yeay.
Dimasik.
Oke, dimasik. Yeay. Aku pendukung Babang Ye.
Tapi sih emang nih AWP-nya ARGB Aji Konde.
Battle 2 chamber. Iya. Tapi Ye itu lebih ngeri anjir.
AWP-nya bahaya banget anjir. Gak jebo dia.
Gak jelas.
Tadi apa?
Coba,
Hostnya bilang Ye itu sama dengan si Tens tahun lalu.
Iya benar.
Finesse.
Tapi kalau Tens kan Jet God dia. JT tahun lalu bersinar banget.
Rivera.
2 tahun lalu sih teh.
Tahun lalu? 2 tahun lalu Valorant udah rilis loh.
Iya bang.
Bang Navi kapan main? Navi mainnya di TI bro.
Yampi.
Ini dia nih. Yampi melawan Ye ini.
Mountain Whitefish lagi anjir.
Oh,
Sogger gimana?
Crashes juga sabep sih.
Crazy versus ini Scream.
EMEA.
Crashes lawan Xtreem bener.
Checked.
Ini seru sih. OpTic on Team Liquid nih udah seru ini. Jadi bukan sekedar operator, semua juga kena pala. Parah.
Ini Mountain Whitefish ini mah. Kan nih. Cuman udah nih.
Oh man, Seth. The crowd. I mean, I think I know
Eropa
who they're cheering
peringkat
for.
satunya FPX anjir.
It's very
Wah,
evident.
kok crowdnya
And that's
kosong
to
di
be
belakang?
expected. Now, I think for OpTic, they knew
Match
coming into this
pertama,
that the
Vin.
crowd was not going to be championing them
Tapi
whatsoever.
OpTic bro,
They're gonna be
maksudnya
back
match pertamanya
in
lebih
the EMEA
panas.
here. And
Paling belum
one of the
pada
things that,
masuk.
while on the patio, I had the pleasure of talking to
Business happens on the patio,
happens to
people.
I was
crowd.
talking to Marv, and he was really expressing to Ken Yang, the CEO of DRX, that
Anjing gua
because
main
Ken was
Valorant
egging him on.
sampai
He said,
jam 10
"God," he
anjir
said,
dari
"Yo,
pagi.
when we are
Itu
angry,
pas lu kelar itu gue baru
so
kelar
much
nonton
better."
ini,
I think
baru
having
kelar
the
nonton
audience against them is
drama
going to
tuh.
lead
Gue liat
to
lu
that as well.
upload story anjir.
He has full confidence that when they get pissed off,
Udah gila
they
emang lawan
focus
gua.
up even more. and
Oh,
they
ini
play
rame
the
nih
way
yang di
they-
depan.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, they don't call
Mainin
Ye
akun
El
temen
Diablo
gue
for
dari
no reason. All
gold
right.
sampai
Guys,
diamond
I mean,
3
a lot of OpTic guys, they remain
Gua-
cool, calm,
Lu
and collected, ice
jokiin.
cold under that kind of pressure. They've got the experience under their belt. And yeah, I think you're right.
Lagian
in
akun
that kind
skin
of
banyak kagak
mentality, they're not
dimainin.
gonna let the crowd get to them as much, but it definitely plays a part. I think whether
Kemarin di Arek FPX siapa yang menang? Di Arek 2-0.
hear the vibrations, the
Headphone, let me
rumble of the
know.
audience when you get 1v2,
Gua bisa
whatever
mempalingkan
bad
di area
situation happens in the game.
semifinal nggak
that
kemana
affects
sih itu.
everybody. I don't care how
Ya dia minimal
collected you are.
top
I
4
mean,
besar lah itu udah
it's
pasti.
hard to tune that out
Iya.
sometimes, and the
Yeah.
crowd
Kalau
is
mainnya
definitely
kayak
on the
gitu,
side of the
anjing serem
EMEA
banget.
teams, as we kind of expected.
Yeah, I mean, this is where we see the.
Nih lu belum tidur Jo jadinya Jo.
You know,
Udah
of
tidur
because
tidur
I
tadi
think for
bangun jam
Liquid,
berapa
they
gua?
could probably
Jam
get
6.
Tidur jam 11.
right? You know,
Jam
like I talked to
4 sampai jam
Sokas and
3
he
di
was
bawah.
saying like this is the biggest stage he's ever played on.
Yeah, I mean, this could go both ways. If TL are getting too jazzed up, maybe they start over-peaking, which
overheat
seems
moments.
weird to say about TL because they're always happy to
Makanya untung kemarin gue pas 12-12 udahan kan. Ternyata sampai 16-14 anjing.
Zealous from the crowd fueling them.
Wah seru
And then
banget itu
for the
film
side
semalam
of
pun
OpTic, I
parah.
mean, maybe
Seru,
it would
cuma
be enough of a driving
gua nggak
force,
streaming
enough
hari
of
ini
a
kalau gua
motivation to
nonton.
say, you know what, we want that crowd to be silent at the end
Lu
of
pilih
this.
mana lu? Seru atau gue
Sometimes that's
streaming
also, like,
lagi lu?
the benefit. I mean, to bringing a basketball reference, you know, when Trae Young
Jadi
silenced all the
90
Knicks
meter,
fans.
anjir.
in
Oh, Korea
Madison
tuh
Square
cuma
Garden.
7
You know what I mean?
tim.
Like, but it was like a
Yes,
very
I-
demoralizing experience. Yes, you guys know exactly
Final
what I'm
upper di
talking
RX
about.
versus OpTic gak sih? Sabi sih di RX versus
Anyway,
OpTic sih.
I'm gonna nail one of those
I
references.
often go and shoot some hoops.
Here we go.
Korea,
Prime Gaming
Korea tuh
Agents
baru
like,
7
no,
tim ternyata.
we're doing Vandals.
1917 anjing, 1917
because
sinting.
we are seeing, okay, Liquid are playing the same wacky comp that they were prior,
Yeah.
but OpTic are going for something completely different. This
Neon,
is the Fnatic comp.
bro.
When they unveiled
Yai
this,
dengan
with the bricks
chambernya
and the
di
neon
sini,
play.
melawan
It's a comp that I
Jampi
think had
dengan
a lot of
chamber
good looks
juga.
actually when I was watching Fnatic play this on Breeze. And
Pasti
it kinda makes
Xtreem
sense that Optic
si
would be
Phoenix.
leaning into this a little bit
Enggak,
more. I have
enggak ada
no idea
Phoenix.
how much practice they have
Enggak ada
on
Phoenix.
this comp, but it
Enggak ada.
definitely plays into a
Xtreem
lot of
siapa
their
tadi?
strengths.
Neon
And there
juga?
were some good looks that Fnatic showcased.
Apa Riz?
Enggak.
Now,
Risk
one of my
kayaknya.
biggest questions
Coba
about this
play.
is going to be, is this going to fully
Apa Jet?
catch TL off guard? Did they have
Enggak,
any
enggak main
whispers on
Jet.
the wind that OpTic was trying this comp, that they were taking it from Fnatic? Because they said,
Panjang
you know,
lagi
we think that they're
rambut
predictable, we think we have a good read on this squad. This could be the curveball coming
Yeah,
through from
I
OpTic
agree.
that really just shuts down all of that preparation.
NE near airport anjing.
Dari dulu kayak gitu kan.
Oh Phoenix tuh kan?
Is the same
Wah,
Phoenix
Scream
comp that
Phoenix
they
ini
played.
Pokoknya
bahaya.
Scream itu kalau nggak Jet Phoenix itu dua doang.
Severe weaknesses on their
Res
attack
kemarin
side.
sempet res
They were
ya.
really lacking that Jet
Pas
to just
di-ban tapi.
initiate into sight and cut up the crosshair placement. They were
Itu
really
menjak
struggling on
di-buff,
that, but they are
banyak
starting
yang
on the
make,
defense side.
anjir.
because Optic
Nggak sih,
is definitely
seumur-umur
picking
gue cuma ngeliat di
their
turnamen
attack
ini
side for
Phoenix
this
Scream
comp.
doang yang
They're
make.
more attack sided. This one I think for Team
Enggak,
Liquid
kalau di
also
ranked
suits it.
sekarang
So
Vin.
they're kind of lucky in
Iya,
that regard.
tapi maksudnya di
They get to start
turnamen
on
ini
the
si
defense
Scream
side.
doang nih yang bener-bener
We'll have to see how they play this
dari
one out,
awal
because
anjir
I think
dari
the
group
numbers are
stage.
skewed a little bit. It's probably a little bit more 50-50.
Oh, Liquid
after the
serang
series
duluan,
last night with
attacking.
PRX, but before that, this map was trending towards the defender side in map. So if TL can start off really strongly and then still somehow manage to engineer a strong attack once they swap sides, they could be in with a pinch.
Jo nggak live Jo lo?
I gotta be worried about this.
Ntar
All right, well, let's do this.
Ntar lagi,
bad
guys,
boy. Let's
katanya,
send it
guys.
over to our casters who are ringside for this regional brawl across the Atlantic. Here's
Wah,
Mitch
nggak bisa
and
dapet soldier
Tom.
gimana ini gue?
Thank
Gua
you
kan
so
bagian
much,
late
GB
game.
and the analyst.
Devin
As
turu.
Tom, I'm thrilled to
Gua
kick this
lanjutin.
one off with Breeze. We've got Scream coming in on a Phoenix. I mean, this game's going to be something else.
Well, yeah, you got Marved on a breach. You've got
Ini
Victor
Sauger
switching
ini.
back up to his Neon. The
Ayo
thing is, I
makan
agree with
Mino
the
nih,
Des. This
Mino
map
nih,
has
Mino.
become very defensive side, and
Iya,
we've got
mantap.
two teams
Ayo,
coming in
ayo.
with some of the most
Ini
aggressive
lulus.
attack-sided
Ini
comps
gold
we've
dong.
ever had. I
Part
think we're
satu
in for a
mapnya
real
Liquid,
show,
Liquid
and
pick.
I don't know which way this is going. I'll be brutally honest with you.
EU versus NA. What a day set up in
Bukan,
front of
bukan,
us, and
anjir.
we start this battle, regional fight on
seru nih,
Breeze.
bro.
Team Liquid for the defense. Now, Tom, you rightly pointed out both of these teams on
Gold,
paper
man. Oh my
seems
God.
like they're looking for those
Let's
attacking
go.
rounds, so we're expecting OpTic to come out swinging.
Well, that was the one problem with the sort of defensive
Jadi
side.
gimana,
You saw
Pin?
Fnatic run
Pan.
basically
Apakah tebakan
exactly
gue
the
ada yang
same
benar
comp
tadi?
earlier in the tournament?
Tebakan
It
apaan?
worked amazingly well on
Tadi
the
lu,
attack,
Big
but it came
Mouth.
to the defense.
Nggak pengen
much
di-spoiler
more
tapi
shaky.
nanya.
Ih lu.
Setting up that
Heran.
still
Gimana sih lu malah nanya lu?
off on the attack.
Itu sama aja kayak
you can
lu
almost
nonton
expect
One
them
Piece
to try
lu
and blitz
ini
into
mention
the
Oda.
side.
Nah,
Well,
tuh
that's
sama
exactly
tuh.
what they're doing right away,
Udah mulai,
attempting to
udah mulai.
split in towards the A site. Victor was quick, but now the shift key is being hit. Trying to sneak his way over the wall, giving them space to fight in middle, not going their way, and Team Liquid, they're coming ahead in almost all of the duels. Victor, though, has he managed to thread the needle? It looks like they're aware of a mid-push. Or do they expect him to already be here, wrapped around behind them, coming from the bridge?
Satu.
Oh, getting caught off guard! That angle for
Liquid
Navarro,
panas
not
nih, bro.
expected. So one man is left with a pistol round in his hands. It's FNS. He hasn't even got the spike to play with, though.
Yeah, this is worrying. One thing you can say so far about this Team Liquid side this tournament, yeah, they made it through to the playoffs. I think they have the worst pistol record in the entirety of the tournament. Like, you look at that first game versus Leviathan, they managed none of them. I think they only managed a couple of the 6 that came through in the Paper X game, to already getting off to a flying start here, and an aggressive one at that. They know that their opponent's composition revolves around speed, setting up Victor to really take that space. Well, he
Gila.
did take the space, his whole team were dead
Mana
by the
yang-
time he'd done it.
Such a strong initial
Oh, gua
push,
belum
and you
buka
have to
pala.
ask
Bagus,
yourself,
kipasnya
maybe
bagus
some of
ya.
the
Bagusan
players who go
Celestial
down
tapi.
initially, it seems to be the reason for the change
lu
of
lihat
pace,
dulu, tapi.
losing some extra utility that must
Ntar
have had a
besok lah,
plan.
gua buka
Now,
Valorant
coming into
besok.
this round, OpTic will need a plan. Only classics to work
Ya
with.
kalau OP-nya gitu
Or
biasa
attempts to
ya,
relieve
ada
aggression, but
koinnya aja, cuman
ultimately, they are at a
kipasnya
disadvantage
bagus.
in every fight they walk into.
Yeah, he's almost dead already. Like, he's just been owned within the first, like, 10 seconds of the
5.000.
round. I'm not sure if that was the shock darts that were being fired out, or if he just took a battle early in the round that we missed, but
Dukung mana? Dukung OpTic.
not the greatest look, especially when he's the main danger man. You look at the rest
Gue
of the
gara-gara lihat
investments,
Chamber
there's
sering di
basically
pick
nothing
di
here
turnamen,
on the
gue
side
sekarang
of
pakai
OpTic.
Chamber
They're
mulu
keeping
anjing.
as basically as cheap as they possibly
Emang enak
can.
sih chamber
The
tuh.
benefit of having Ye in those early fights, the
Habis
headhunter
kontrol,
range can
tele.
obviously help out,
Iya.
but now at 24 HP, he doesn't have a range advantage.
Wah.
Gitu.
One shot left and the
Waduh.
headhunter is there.
Oh, nice.
Grenade catches Victor. And Team Liquid concede no space. I'll give no quarter to OpTic to start this out. It's an absolute slaughter.
Waduh.
Question is, can OpTic find any
Kenapa
damage? Can
OpTic?
they make it costly? The man they're fighting is a ghost,
Aku yang
so
telat.
they need to look elsewhere to drop some
36,
weapons.
35,
It's going to have any
34.
impact
Buat
on the next
32,
round. And
31,
by the looks of it, Tom,
30.
there is
Kita
no
Habis.
OpTic can do.
Flawless.
Team Liquid 2-0 with a
Lah.
Burn Gaming
Wih,
flawless.
crowd.
I think it is really
Crowd
interesting
control.
as well, though, to bring the crowd into this.
Sepi
Is that
crowdnya.
OpTic have played on an international
Ih, pas
stage.
pada
before
semana
where
hebat
there
ya?
is a crowd from
Pas kemarin
EMEA.
di
But we were in
Master.
Copenhagen. Other than Fnatic, the crowd really wasn't that biased. They weren't that favored towards either team. In fact, there were a load of Ye fans sat at the back who were screaming louder than anyone.
Oh, yeah.
This time around, they get one kill on the Liquid side and the crowd loses their mind. So I think that's going to be something hard to play against, but I agree
Nice,
with the devs.
boys.
If they
Good
can be
job.
silenced,
Lu,
if
oh
Liquid
lu
fall
belum
a
lihat
little
ini
bit
ya,
short,
mic checknya
maybe.
Load ya, yang
Still,
kemarin
there's no
ya.
way.
Well,
Enggak.
this time they come in with the rifle, so risks
Kenapa
are
sih si
taken. Oh
Derke?
my!
Aduh,
Yumpi.
Yampi.
Ngapain Yampi? Bisa-bisanya lu nge-win 4 peluru pakai Headhunter.
Yeah, he's left down to the Marshal now. Not a whole lot to play with for the remainder of this round.
Gimana aja Headhunter akurasi 100% dia nge-wave loh.
The position of Navera though is interesting. He's got such deep control on B. They've
Yampi
actually been able to
ngantuk,
stack up
parah
somewhat
ini.
towards this A site. Although it seems like the read might be a little bit
Wah,
off
yay
again.
bro.
Man has been superb. The top
Iwang
performer
tap,
of this
anjir.
round so far is going to get the first.
Timing.
Good answer back by Scream. They've spotted
Nice.
Menace. That'd be a big scalp to take. A Viper wall down,
detik
but no,
berapa, Jok?
he will survive and instead delete Navera on the other side.
Nggak ada
With
detiknya.
Yumpi having the
Ada
chance
bom.
for an opening duel, first blood in the round instead. OpTic now have the advantage well and truly in their court. The spike planted, and they will hold back in their post plants. The diffuse
Xtreem,
being tapped
Xtreem.
fates them into a
Iya.
swing, but the duels are theirs,
Nanti.
and the round is 2.
Ini dia nih.
I think that's the way we'll
Ronde
play, especially
berikutnya
Scream
baru
having
nih.
rifle in this round.
Nah,
This is
ini
real
baru
big,
true.
especially with the aggression of the
Ronde 4 itu baru
I think
penentuan.
24, 23, 22,
they're very
nggak
much
tahu,
willing to try
21,
and get up in the face of their
20.
opponents, try and
16.
get off
Sama
to
kok.
a solid early start.
Now look at that stat down the
Tuh,
bottom.
tim Liquid are undefeated di LCQ Stage 2 dan Champions
Stage
anjing.
2 LCQ and Champions.
Gila.
Strong
Playground.
map for them, and
Iblis,
we
iya.
discussed this over on the desk. You know, there's ways to see this in both.
Yampi udah operator aja tuh.
But if OpTic take this map,
Diambil
Nggak
sama
sabar
Ye.
ya, ada
Tenang,
habis
tenang.
di sini nih
it's
katanya.
definitely where they want to start strong. And we've seen
Diambil
both
sama Ye,
surround, a little
tenang,
bit of
tenang.
damage. This is where things are really decided, though.
Yeah, an operator already for Yumpi. And look at where Scream has already
Di
pushed.
pick
He is
hole,
all the way
ini
down
ditaruh
mid,
trap.
spawning so deep within the round. The same can be said for Yumpi. So they're getting so much early information. Look at this full rotation. 3 players already on the A site once again, and they're throwing in utility just to try and slow them down.
And Yumpi has a great
Tuh anjing
teleport to
sih
bring
lagi
him back.
ngedrone
I mean,
gitu terus
currently
di-cancel.
catching any sort of lurks
So
that
the-
would go into play, but if he needs to leave, if they desperately need some help on that A site, he can be there.
Rotate gak sih
It
bang?
looks like OpTic will be committing to this late, except 3 players now starting to shift back towards the spawn.
Rotate gak sih
They didn't make the ground
bang?
up, but with 55 seconds left, they have to clear so much of the map on the way back. I think they're hoping that at some point, Team Liquid have pushed up and given them a duel that they can take.
Well, the danger as well is you have to bear in mind that on the other side of
Getting
things,
ahead.
Navera still has pretty much all of his utility.
Jangan
He
ke
can throw
shot
those
deh,
snake bites
mati lu
down,
ke
so the later
beneran.
you run in, the more
Mati,
vulnerable
Ye.
you're going to be
Ye.
going through. He's just placed the fires!
Aduh, wah, anjir,
That couldn't have
Yampi,
gone
Yampi,
any worse. 30
Yampi.
seconds left for OpTic to try and
Aduh.
find a way back in.
He waited to catch the
Aduh,
lurk for
piercing
so
shot,
long.
bro,
The patience
bro.
pays off. OpTic on their buy round here in a bit of hot water. 20 seconds on the clock, spikes down in
save.
spawn, and
Yeah,
they've got to
save.
save. There's no chance for them to get anywhere near a site. One shot, and that destroys and dismantles OpTic's plans.
Gila.
I think they're going to have to throw in a faster round in the next, because what Team Liquid are
Gila,
currently
Yampi.
doing, they're taking a lot of early map control, they're using
Hobinya
the utility of their initiative
piercing
to
shot,
consistently
anjing.
get them information, but also because they're finding that info early.
Tapi gitu
you have
guys,
Yumpi all the
Ye
way
juga
deep
waktu
in
lawan
towards
Boom
Elbow.
Libris
You had
panasnya tuh
Scream
ntar
still
ronde-ronde
close
10.
they didn't push any
Ronde
of those
12
players back. They
tuh,
didn't
baru
clear any
panas
of the
tuh ya itu.
positions, and because of that, they didn't use any utility. So you still had both snake bites with 30 seconds left. You can't allow that to happen, and I think that FNS or Finesse is someone who's going to adapt very quickly.
Hilang itu otaknya.
Absolutely. Well, he will need to.
Otaknya.
3-1 down. As we said, OpTic want to come out swinging on this attack side, and already they've been stalled. Still some credits in the bank with that save, so they can buy up right here and now. Looks like we're going to have a push from both teams in towards middle. Right up in their face! Victor's got one! The trade, though! It doesn't come through! Navarre is able to capitalize on another, and OpTic again run head first into a brick wall. They've got to pump the brakes. And with a minute 20 on the clock, they've got the man disadvantage, plenty of time still to work with.
Li lagi bau banget kah?
Some sort of an advantage. Belum
panas,
Jo.
Well, that's the thing. Liquid's reads so far have been fantastic. They had 3 players stacked up at the beginning of the round, waiting for a fast-paced push.
Mati Dimas.
Marv, though,
Dimas
might
mati.
be able to turn things here.
Wah.
Even with the Guardian, he's going to land the headshot. The remaining 2 doubling back in towards that B site. The trap will likely give away the information. While then, Yumpy is alone.
He's got that off in hand, though. He's won the round with a single shot already, one fired off, a target not found, and he rightly disengages. Indeed, I think through the wall, perhaps. Either way, though, they concede the plan. A wise choice. He doesn't want to give his life for a little bit of extra damage and maybe give an operator over to them. FNS, though, he goes for his own little bit of control, finding his first. But that's where it ends. The clutch for Crashies, the 1v3. And the time really not on his side. There's still plenty left for Liquid to play with.
Belakang lu. Belakang lu, Crash.
He's heard the initial steps. Nice shot on the first. A chance to isolate.
It's
going to be the second.
Apain
And
lompat.
Yuppie just about fast enough. I think any other player, and he might have missed that shot, and it could have been all over.
Lu ngapain
Crashies in
lompat?
clutch situations, ever dangerous.
Tapi
And Liquid from a
flicknya
commanding
Yumpy juga
position.
kenceng anjing, lagi lompat gitu langsung dar.
It's enough, Tom. All they needed was the round win. Clean or dirty, it didn't matter. Love the target selection from this man. The jump peak for the information.
Anjing.
Oh, that's so
Flicknya.
as said,
Flicknya gila
9 out of
Yumpy.
10 players, 99 out of 100, they're not hitting that shot. And the second you shoot, by the way, he swings and kills you. Like, you don't, well, actually, maybe Yumpy headhunters him. Anybody else, they swing and kill him.
Exactly. 4-1. And this is where we start to see the fallout from that previous round. OpTic came so close, but they didn't get the reward, and now pistols in play, light weapons. They'll pace it up to the side. Xtreem is ready. He caught them last time in the double doors. He was the one to take the bullets from Victor. This time he returns to sender, with OpTic losing their main man to entry. A little wall bang through the smoke, I'll take it.
But the thing as well, this is always the problem with running a Neon comp.
17,
The follow-up is normally
15.
quite far behind.
Jadi gue sempat
It's something that I also think Fnatic had troubles with. It
10,
was just
9.
Alfie was getting double entries every single time. Like, that's not something
Siapa
that's
yang bufferin
repeatable.
lu?
And as of right now, there was nobody able to get into the site quick enough behind
Paling buffer
Victor.
tuh.
Now, bear in mind as well, he was the only person with a gun.
Kebiasaan nih OpTic. OpTic kebiasaan baris berbaris anjing.
Tapi kayaknya dia memberikan deh.
Yumpy dikasih makan terus. Ulti anjir di sini. Udah tuh ulti kan.
Enggak dong, kan masih ada AWP dia.
Yeah, and they're gonna take a timeout.
Habis ini baru ulti dia.
So much to play with going
Beliin
into the
si
next round.
Nuera.
There is, of course, a few on the other
Nivera.
side. Tour de Force unlikely to be used.
Nuera.
I'm more looking at that null command, maybe the run it back to try and just
New era bro.
basically discombobulate this next push. 'Cause that's
Sepatu,
the thing you want to
bro.
do in these sort of rounds. You know that OpTic are going to be talking this
Anjir,
over.
dia
Probably
menang
trying to
blue
calm
kill
things
coba.
down because I think a lot of these last rounds they've been blitzed by individual players, like a collapse shot coming out from Yumpy. There's not so much you can do about that. Screen peeking into the fast lane to just get that opener and ruin your take. You want to try and calm everything. Whereas on the other side, they have an ultimate which does the polar opposite. You have a plan, you want to try and do something, I'm going to run at you with no risk and I'm screwed.
Regardless of what the play has been, Victor's had no success on those early dashes. Whether it's taking the space, but the reality is you've got to follow up on it. The only successful duel, not opening duel, I mean just duel in general, that he has had was onto Scream, which if you recall, ended up in a 2-1 trade anyway.
Well, yeah, it was traded in 0.5 of a second, so it wasn't... that's the thing, again, I think people have to realize with this composition, the focus isn't necessarily Victor in terms of kills.
For sure.
Like, he is taking a huge risk. There has to be something to follow up, and that's the
Detik
issue I've
berapa
had so
gua
far.
buffering
Hasn't
nih?
been there.
The follow-up hasn't been
13,
there. That's
12.
really difficult to do with this sort of composition.
I would say
10,
pretty much every duel,
9,
every space taking has been
7,
perfectly countered by
6,
Team Liquid. Every step of the way.
They've
The
had
fact
good
that
reads.
Xtreem's waiting on being the
Okay,
previous
udah.
round for them even.
Well, look at Yumpy now. Look at where he's
Let's
going.
go.
Enemy control already taken. The knife going to clear a little bit further. He can just go walkabouts. Look how confident Team Liquid are in this space taking. And while the build-up begins on the other side of the
Let's
map,
go,
he
Miami.
can lock down
Wait,
all the
wait,
way
wait,
in
wait.
towards the spawn. This is already such a terrifying prospect for OpTic, who don't know how much ground they've lost.
Yeah, this is tough. You still have Xtreem waiting around here to watch for the mid push. It means Doors is maybe a little bit weakened, but OpTic don't know this. They don't know that that's the lighter part of the map, that mid is where the space is free to be
I think
taken.
that drone might have actually seen 3 people. That was so much information garnered on the side of OpTic. It's whether or not they can actually capitalize off it. Yay, with that Tour de Force ready and waiting, but a 4th player has already rotated in just because of Yumpy's position.
Yeah, he was waiting.
Because the MP position.
Now that wall goes up and it's blocking him out. Time wasting away. Victor
Kelewatan
needs to
nih.
make a move, and as he does, he's going to be so
Aduh.
vulnerable. Scream with the first. They reset to the
Ah,
back
udah
of
nih,
side.
kayaknya
Punish Fury
mau ambil
looking
di
for
ban
them,
ya OpTic
trying
deh.
to take them down, but it's cancelled out. There's nothing to be seen here for OpTic. No
Ngeri
advantages
banget,
to be
Scream.
gained. Scream, he'll go down in the ult and be caught by Marv. But a 4v2 crashes on 10 HP. It seems impossible for OpTic. They need a hero.
Ayo lu.
Crashes does well to find
Ayo lu.
the first,
Mau
but
nge-pick mana lu?
Marv has to find a way out.
Oh, okay.
The rolling
Gung, gung,
thunder.
gung, gung,
Oh, the
gung.
swing!
Wah,
Crashes
nice
at
banget.
3. The
Anjing.
spike
Nice
can be
ulti
retrieved.
aja dari
The
Marv.
round might still be up for grabs.
Oh, Yumpy's got the timing right. That's the first shot. Last player incredibly low.
Ini mah
This
kekontrol
crashes
dikit
again.
juga.
He should get the little bit of information,
Kekontrol
knowing exactly
dikit.
where his opponent will be.
Percaya sama one
Can he
tap-nya.
finish off the round? He's
Aduh.
starting. He can. Once again, an
Ini
incredible
emotionalnya
attempt from
dah.
Crashes, but Yumpy puts him down.
Mentalnya udah mental Yumpy nih.
Harus respect Yumpy sih.
But at the end of the day, nothing to show for
Ini
them
Yumpy
aside
Gaming,
OpTic.
bro deh.
They had the one round that they should have won on paper.
Tim Yumpy bukan tim Liquid nih, tim
Tim
Yumpy.
Yumpy nih.
Crashes is in form right now. And that's probably the worrying thing for OpTic, is there's a couple of rounds he could have won for them solo.
Mental bang, itu palanya bang, salto bang.
Like Ye has been, as said, the best player in the tournament so
Let's
far.
go.
Waduh,
We've had
ini
barely
dia
an
nih.
impact from him just yet.
Tim Liquid
I'm never
roar,
gonna sit here and say I
Scream.
don't believe that he will turn it around, but it has to happen fairly soon.
I believe it was run it back showed us a
Itu
stat.
170
Kills
Victor,
per round,
udahlah,
but Ye with the
baru main
operator
the
was
cosplay
just
property
above
anjing.
everybody. Now he's got that rifle to play with.
Kabar,
This time around,
Bang.
the scope ready to be used. But he
Ntar
still needs
tiba-tiba
to find a victim.
16-16 loh.
Tour de Force last round, he could
Yumpy
before it got taken
OP
away
nih.
from him.
I will say, I think second place was
Ayo dong Ye. Masa lu kalah sama Yumpy lu?
so it's
Ayo,
definitely
Yumpy.
a battle of the
Ayo Yumpy,
operator
kalau kan
players.
iya Yumpy.
Yeah, this buy is a bit stinky, but with a
Aduh,
Viper's pit.
aduh ngeri banget gua
also
liatnya
got the
anjing.
overdrive being
Gila Ye sih, maco banget anjing.
There is still a lot of potential in this round. Again though.
Wah, mulai nih.
There you go. Yeah, he was
Mulai
managed to
nih.
find the space, and now they go into the B side, and it's
Oh,
actually
lumayan
just
lah.
gonna be the trade
Dapat
out.
satu.
It's on to Yumpy again.
Scream was stunned up.
Wah, tipis banget TP-nya.
The side is theirs. OpTic come in with disadvantages, but with this Viper's
Wah,
pit coming
Lah,
into play,
ultinya ke depan semua, nggak ada yang ke belakang.
It quite clearly is Team Liquid committed their own pit on the A site. And what a mistake that now appears to be. Such a tough spot to fight back in.
Wah.
That's exactly why. Even the weakest of weapons
Waduh, Solkes.
strong inside this pit.
Ampun Bang
They're
Solkas.
starting to carve away back in, but the Viper still to be dealt with. Finesse tucked in the corner with a stinger.
Finesse,
He hopes
finesse.
they'll be decayed by the time a fight comes through.
Wah, Jim. What the fuck?
That is disgusting.
What the fuck?
Absolutely no right to
Itu
take this
ini
round.
Vera random shot kan, blind shot kan?
That is gonna be devastating.
He moved him with the snake bite. That was on the
Wah,
very he
Vincent
fired it
ngeri
in,
banget,
and
cuy.
Finesse made the right play,
Wah,
but he
jing,
just
itu-
spams the spot
itu-
in front of where he
what
puts the
the-
snake bite, and then just owns Ye on the way back through. That is a round that shouldn't have even been particularly close after they got into that.
Wah,
afterthought.
anjing.
But Solkas, top of the board right now, 10-4, having a fantastic game.
Itu apaan blind shot gitu anjir? Through the
Wah,
smoke?
game sense-nya
That was
ngeri
not a
banget
round they should
sumpah.
have won coming in. They had weaker weapons.
Yeah,
they can
sure.
write it off, whatever. But that was a winnable position. That was a hard to lose position.
Gila.
They lost it to spams in smoke, spams through walls.
demotivating, but they won't let it get to them. Off on
Wah, Yumpy nge-whiff.
Still fighting. Yumpy's down. He's gone. The opening duel for Victor, the space claim. This is what we've been missing for OpTic. Now they've got the rifles, but look at the counter push. Team Liquid are up through mid. Xtreem's whiff. And FNS.
Whiff si Xtreem di flash.
They're ahead and they're
Tuh kan.
keeping their lead for a moment.
Mere
and
moments.
then Demasig comes through with
Anjing.
Not again, OpTic. Not like this.
Well, that's the thing. Ye has at least turned it back into a comprehensible position. The
Beneran
problem
harus tuh stepnya itu.
is the spots are of their opponents.
Nggak kedengeran.
Ah, mati lu berdua di
Timing
situ.
for Devere is not bad. He's gonna pick
Wah.
out, and Solcast gets the other one.
Mereka kenapa nggak mundur gitu?
Kenapa ya? Iya,
Kenapa
aneh ya.
kenapa harus saat mid gitu loh?
Put themselves into huge advantages. They
Mau
catch
ke
the
itu
aggression.
tuh, ke A
There's
itu.
just more of it and more of it. And Liquid
Coba kayak orang bingung gitu loh.
OpTic have got to
Dua-duanya
be
linglung
shut
gitu anjir,
down.
nengoknya nggak jelas.
Coming out of this replay, you'll see the timeout graphic pop up on your screen. And I don't think anybody's going to be surprised with that. OpTic.
Aduh, yang sebelah
I
kiri
don't know if they
bete.
call this a cringe comp, but I'm sure they want to
Timeout lagi. Belum apa-apa dah. Match baru jalan berapa menit nih anjing? 20 menit nih.
You highlight Scream, you highlight the obvious focal point, but the fact is, I think
Gila.
Solcast has been truly fantastic.
Kayak
Like,
Diamond
a
nih.
lot of his utility is
Kamu
found
tuh
out
goat
the
ya?
pushes before they've even happened, but also just on an individual level. And that's been the thing with this Liquid squad, is there is not a member of this team that can't take over a game. Like, you focus on Scream, you focus on Yumpy because they're the players that do it more consistently. But when Solcast hits a peak, when he's in form, they're terrifying. And that's been the case in every iteration of this
Santai
roster.
bro,
This is not
ini
just
kalah
this
masih
current
turun ke lower.
8-1. We spoke about this composition for OpTic being much stronger, should be much stronger on the attack. Well, the best they can hope for is 4.
Tom,
Tapi
OpTic
inget,
right now
FPX
is
kemarin
playing
juara
against so
gara-gara
many
dari lower
disadvantages.
loh,
The
hati-hati.
scoreline already
Nah.
miserable and irrespective of how
Kalau
well
kata
rounds have
OG,
started, they've always
upper
been
brackets
snatched
for
out of the
bitches.
grasp.
Kata
And we look
kata
over
OG,
at the
kata
crowd.
ini Liquid.
The signs are showing it, but we can hear it loud and clear, and I imagine the bass from the crowd alone can be felt by OpTic every time these devastating round losses come
Kami
through.
Ratle.
They hear
Masih
their
loh, mereka
opponents, they
gitu
hear the
loh.
crowd celebrating their loss. 7 behind coming into round number 10. An unprecedented
I'm the
scoreline. Here's an
hunter.
opening
Mati tuh.
without even needing to see him. Crashy's on 1, clearing some space for his teammates. They know no one's on stairs. Now they've destroyed the trap. As good a start as you could wish for if you're OpTic. And then Finesse goes down.
Okay, the trade back from EA, it gives them so much space.
iya,
In fact,
dapet tuh.
it's opened up the B site for business. There's only one defender at this point. Now, Demasig hasn't really been around this spot. In most rounds, he's been playing towards mid, and Scream hasn't caught the timing. I don't know if they'll check this, and well, it's a little bit whiffy. The trade, though, from Crashies is going to give them another position, and they're actually planting away from the rest of the team. They're almost hoping the rotations come through in another direction, but it does give them a very good plant towards the spawn. And you can see from Scream's perspective, it's like, okay, chances are they're going to be planting elsewhere. He's not spotted anyone.
At this point, you're 100% certain this is a back plant. They're coming up and seeing it now, and OpTic, the positions alone seem to be enough to close this
Oke, Mary.
Yai bersinar banget dari ini bro.
Yai.
It's a 2v1 with Yay to clutch it.
Gila.
How are they making it look so easy, Mitch? How are they making it look so easy? That was a 2 versus 3. I don't even think they took any damage.
It's funny to be in this position, Tom, where I'm almost not surprised. It's the story of the map. OpTic keep on carving out these beautiful spots. It looks untouchable. And then
He just jumped again. Stop. Crashy, stop jumping.
This. And this. It's just insane. The time was even against them. Running the clock down would have won the round. But they peaked one after another.
Come on, guys,
I don't
come
even know what
on.
you tell yourself at this point. You don't have a pause to get Chet back in there to
I know what you tell yourself.
pump DRX.
Bind is next. That's what you tell yourself, because Breeze is looking really rough. Victor, though, again,
No
he's
one
got the
wants to
opener.
win.
Even with a Spectre, he's managed to do so much. You're going to see the counter roll come through. That Hunter's Fury, but it's garnered nothing. Again, space has been made towards this B side. They're pulling rotations in almost every single round. Vera, though, he's found the perfect timing, but he doesn't hit the shots. B side open for business once again. A plant as free as can be. And surely, Mitch.
Oh, no, don't.
Surely they convert this one.
Don't be... Look, somehow I'm like 90% sure Liquid win this round. But it does look, on paper, this is NA's, this is OpTic's second, finally found.
Oh, kelihatan. Kelihatan apa dia feeling itu?
But the thing for Team Liquid, you know, there's no way they're going to save at this point. They have more than enough money going in here to see if they can steal another one away.
Mati Dimas. Wah, kocak lu, Crazy. Lu udah dapat angle lu. Terlaluan.
Apa ya?
Walah Dimas. Walah, Marve. Waduh. Waduh.
Ngeri banget ini anjir.
Aimingnya Solkas, bos.
Nyalabut nyala nih.
A second on the board though. They're looking for the curse. That's about all they can be hopeful for.
10-2 sih ini.
Second half, and as said, like we were expecting a lot from them on the attack, but this has been Solcast all the way through this game. 15-5. I think this is by far the best performance we've seen from him in a long time.
Enggak. Emang OpTic di Breeze tuh cacat, guys. OpTic di Breeze tuh cacat. Kita lihat di bind abis ini.
Oh, OpTic tuh yang temu bom ya?
Iya, yang 18-16.
Kan di brief,
wah, mati.
Di brief kan
mati dalam. Wah, nice ya. Nice trade.
Kena anjir.
Apa drone-nya nggak kena grenade?
Iya.
Emang bisa hancur ya?
Bisa.
Rapi banget tuh, clean shot. Dapat nih Victor nih. Tor. Wah, angle ketutup angle kanan. Apa? Senjata di kanan.
Mid nih.
Ayo Xtreem. Ditembusin, bos. Nggak takut, bos. Udah dimainin doang sih ini sih. Wah. 9 triggers bang. Kers.
And I'll be honest with you, Mitch. I may not be believing in the 9-3 card,
semalam
but there is one curse.
Derek udah ketinggalannya bisa comeback lo, hati-hati lo bro.
9 triggers bang. Kers min. Kers ya min.
That's the biggest curse I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, look, can we blame this on OpTic's game plan, their execution, or Team Liquid's counter strats? I don't know. I probably blame it on GB. Let's toss it over to him and see what he thinks.
25. Pause.
Kalau di gua OpTic udah menang nih, 13-11. Di Metro TV nonton nih.
It's okay. You know, it's okay.
Kita singwang.
But unfortunately, OpTic ain't living through this one. This has been a bit of a barn burner
Itu
for
gede banget
Team
ini,
Liquid here, boys. And I think let's just start out of the gate and talk about one of the players that we kind of have to put a spotlight on here, because you know we're seeing him on the neon. It's Victor and Bryn. This has not been playing out the way that they thought it would.
No, I think that this comp, the experiment of the neon,
Apain si Tarik emang?
working for them.
Live chatnya Valorant. Gara-gara tadi dia ngerosting kan.
But he has been trying to do his job. The missing element has been really him being traded.
Ini buat emang Tarik nih.
He's been creating space, but look at this. He gets an opening.
Bawa viewer.
The rest of his team just falling over behind him.
Apa? Siapa yang ngerosting?
Jadi ada tweet tadi, tweetnya si Tarik sama si Ekis. Pada roasting-roastingan.
Oh.
NA sama EMEA.
You need that breach to set up for these entries. It's no big deal. It's just a pistol round. They'll get it together. They'll be able to play it out. execute on these strategies.
Ntar guys aku.
Nope, we're not
bentar.
seeing it. We were wondering how practiced is this comp, how much time did they have to prepare for this, did TL have a read on it, etc. Right now, it's looking like TL had all of the information because they are countering this with little to no effort.
Yeah, well, looking forward here, right? It's going to be Team Liquid on the
Team
attack.
Liquid.
Let's see what they could do because, this competition with the Phoenix can be beneficial to them because just
lagunya nih ya.
Xtreem pulls it off.
Dung cakap
But
lang-lang,
also it just
dung
feels like
lang,
everyone on Team
darwan.
Liquid are just
Lagunya
snapping
nih,
heads.
hebat
I think
nih.
it's going to be really difficult for OpTic to come back into this one, especially when Team Liquid are now starting to pick up pistol rounds as well. If you look at the attack side win rate there, that's the important element.
Enggak,
as well.
Jok, bukan lagunya yang bikin copyright, Jok.
46%, I think that's historic as well over the course of
Nah,
the
si
tournament
Devin
on the
kemarin
attack side.
kena
It's
copyright
not
kan.
great,
Emang
but it's enough to
ini
carry
sih,
them over
emang
the finish line when they've got a
Valorantnya yang
9-3
ini.
scoreline.
Copyright.
Kan kalau Devin enggak dong.
Oh, that does make sense. That does make sense. But
Gua
this is
gitu
looking
juga
really
soalnya.
difficult, I think, for OpTic to even bring back in this map. But I want to put in the back of people's heads as well. Listen, OpTic are an incredibly experienced team. The next two maps coming up for them as well are also very good maps for them.
EU
on the
better
back
than
end. Not
NA,
really a team to
anjay.
get rattled by a loss in momentum.
All right, well, let's send it back over to Mitch and Tom to break it all down in the second half.
Iya.
Nih.
Second out.
Well, Tom, I saw the signs in the crowd, and one in particular caught my eye. It had Team Liquid as a normal character.
OpTic have a 110 all-time record on maps against
They were
EMEA
looking
teams.
like some
Apaan tuh?
imposters. They were taken down. Right now, they're looking like imposters in this
All-time
matchup,
record.
and you see that all-time record on maps
110
against
tuh apaan?
EMEA, against a
Not
Tier 1
great.
region. They don't really stack up most of the time, and right here, this is miserable. They've stumbled through the first half. They've looked
Lah, kok ngeblink?
shaky.
Iya.
Victor's on it.
Oh, they're stacked.
Aduh, anjing
Yeah,
Victor.
he gets 2 kills from that. That's
itu dong.
absurd. And the peek back through, they've pinched them completely.
Dapat dua tapi langsung.
It doesn't look like the pistol record of Liquid is about to get any better. Left all onto Soulcast. He's been sublime,
his
but he
breath.
would need much more than just his individual skill to take that one home. A 4th round, a lifeline for OpTic, and I would also like to agree with what Brent said. I think you're looking at the fact OpTic are a team, one of the most experienced IGLs we have in the entirety of Valorant right now.
Yep.
They also have an incredibly experienced coach. So I do think there are aspects that Liquid have to try not to let
Tapi
this
bukan
one
emang
slip away from them. They are a team
ini
that
map defender
sometimes
banget ya.
it pays for them
Kemarin
to
kan pas-
overdo it and over-aggress
Apa,
and
attack-
just try and
attack
close
ya?
out the game quickly because
Kemarin
sometimes
Boom
that's
itu
enough to
dapat
pump their
poin banyak
players
di mana?
up.
Attack
But
apa
it also
defend ya?
has the counterpoint to let teams back into the game. So they just have to be a little bit careful here that they don't overdo it.
Now, look, I don't want to say the wind is an OpTic sail after a pistol. It's more of a gentle breeze right now.
Yeah, you know,
they need to
the
pick up a
sail's at
little
least
bit.
up now.
Yeah, they've, well, down. If it's up, you're not going to catch any wind with it. I played Sea of Thieves, Tom, like I told you on that
okay,
boat.
sorry,
I know
sorry.
how it works.
I didn't realize we had a sailing expert alongside.
Well, you should have after our fantastic trip around Copenhagen.
yeah, we only
We
crashed
didn't die.
a couple of times.
We didn't die, and we didn't sink. And that's all that matters. Tell you what, though.
Woo!
That's
Yay!
the same for Yumpy. He's dead right at the start of this round. And Marshall for Ye putting in some work right off the bat. And I think Scopes on this man defensive side. That, if anything's going to pull OpTic out of it, it's him.
That's the thing. I think compositionally, it looked better for the attack, setting up Victor. He's going to be a demon when it comes to the defense. So you'll have a whole different set of problems coming through for Team Liquid to try and deal with. Now, in the early stages of this round, they've looked to try and farm up some extra ults onto Scream. Of course, that is going to be a big part of this attacking side. Try and get that run it back online as much as possible. Then he can just take absurd level risks. In this round, though, you're looking at Soulcat. Can he do any level of damage? Ramon Nevera's actually got one with the classic.
Fantastic start. They know exactly where Finesse is. Dealing with another story. He's got the shields to work with, and the walled up was blocking out his opponent. But Marshall presents some danger. These players need to be careful, but with 10 seconds left,
Soulcast mesti mengepush.
he's going to go running in, sprinting. Ye will be forced to drop the weapon, leaving him with a bit of cash for the next round at least. Team Liquid 9-5 as they pull out a bye round. This is where OpTic face their biggest challenge yet.
Yeah, and this is where I want to see what the plan really is on the defensive side. Like, are they going to try and, again, put more into the setups between Marv and Victor? I feel like Marv in this sort of role, I think it's the trouble we have for them on both this map and on Icebox, is that you don't really have the conventional smoker, so he doesn't really have those better performances. He needs to be setting up players like Victor to try and do some damage, and in the early stages of the round, it does look like they're both watching in towards Cave.
Look at Finesse. We're going for a little bit of aggression here. And it's a great bait. I mean, we saw this, the breakdown earlier on Pearl. round relied on very much the same thing, where Finesse was just tucked in a corner while the rest of his teammates were fading out for him.
Hoki banget Victor.
Backed up in his corner. He, though, delivers with the Headhunter, and now their sights will be set on this man. Oh, they've spotted Screen. He was a second away from sneaking behind and ripping this round apart, separating OpTic.
Pantesan dari tadi kok nggak ada suara Discord gua anjing.
Kenapa Devin?
Bukan, Discord gua error, sinyalnya merah.
Oh, he got two.
But he still comes out with a double.
Yeah, that's huge. So much done, and already a tag connected onto screen. This round is looking incredibly good for OpTic. He gets another one before going down as well. A small amount of health healed up. Victor is low. Still some potential here, but already massive success in this round for OpTic.
Tapi untuk bonus round sih ini
as they're focused forward, Victor comes behind, claims the flag on Solkas, drops the spike,
Xtreem 1v3,
and leaves a healed up Scream. Uses his hot hands back to 67. That ain't gonna help too much. Rifles on the other side, marved.
Mesti plan dua-duanya nggak aman angle-nya.
Back at door is just spotting, just holding control, containing. Final 10, he will swing through, stop this plan.
Dimainin anjing.
The round is done. Well handled by OpTic, a beautiful round.
Dimainin, Cok.
Point man of that, patience down below.
Anak orang sisi kiri kanan dimainin gitu.
Nah ini ya e-sport nih. Dope nih ya ini.
No, a really nice setup from them. I obviously putting into position Ye to just find some of these crazy shots, but also using him to almost bait for FNS. Like just have him more passive in a position where he can just catch players off guard. Now those trap plays definitely going to be more difficult to recreate, but to win them in a bonus round has so much value. And the finances they've already gained, like you're going to have a Ye on an operator already within this match, and that in itself is dangerous.
Well, the reality is right now, Tom, Team Liquid, who are in a commanding position, 9-1 up, now forced to call a timeout. That round lead reduced down to 3. And at this point, they're even coming into this on an eco.
Oh, Guild X in the building. Okay.
Ceweknya cakep yang kanan.
We do.
One of the best.
Lu mau lihat lagi? Lagi ngeliatin ikan anjir.
You know, Ness, have you done some videos on that?
Dia ikan lu liatin job.
Ah, tidak.
Oh, why are you slacking? Can't be that good.
Nah, Yampi kalau udah mode rambut digulung udah tryhard tuh.
3 rounds to make videos. I get it. Yeah, like I said, Team Liquid are forced to very light buy this time around. This can easily be a 9-7, and from the position OpTic were in, where they were looking like they had all of a sudden, off those early rounds, they're right back into the rhythm. The question, you know, as the rounds go on, defensive side, this comp can be difficult to deal with, but for now, they're setting their sights one step at a time. They don't want to look too far ahead. This round has a massive amount of advantages for them.
Yeah, I think the main thing here for Liquid is just going to be try and get some ult orbs. Soulcast not far away from the null command, run it back will be guaranteed as well for the next round, so maybe farming up for the Viper's Pit would be a decent idea. They are also one of the best teams with these pistols.
Halo Bang Botak.
So OpTic still have to be a little bit careful. You can see already some early utility being expended. Just try and make sure that none of that space is going to be garnered elsewhere. And actually, they're leaving mid very much open just because they can hold it from such passive positions. Now they have the option.
Yampi.
You also had Navera put down that poison orb.
Nengok deh. Yey, nengok yey. Thank you Ferdi Sambo 1000-nya. Buset, Ferdi Sambo namanya. Ya gimana ya? Nah, gue ngebacain doang yang ada di layar.
Gue mau ngelanjutin tapi ikut hati.
Jangan ya. Kau udah bosan nge-YouTube. Wah, nge-whiff. Yeah, gaming nih, bos. Udah diiniin loh. Aduh, Victor nge-whiff sekarang.
Masa iya kena thrifty, bos?
Aduh.
They're back into a 2v2. Demasic on the back of the site, but he is just distracting. He's jumping around. He's trying to.
Ayo Finesse. Pala ngapain lo naik-naik anjing?
That wasn't what I thought he was trying to do, but don't fall.
Alamak, kalah thrifty mah.
2 kills with the Sheriff. The run it back not needed. And that guaranteed 7th round, as it seemed to be, is
Mari
again
kita lihat
snatched out
apakah
of their
mereka
hands. I mean,
bisa
OpTic,
meng-comeback di sini adik-adik.
talk about being mentally boomed. I don't know how they can keep themselves even.
Aduh, nge-whip sih si Victor ya.
Like everybody else on the team was just so far away. I think he was trying to catch them off guard and almost get back in while his teammates were fighting.
My friend is invisible. Viper's ult.
I don't know.
Ini siapa anjing?
Too much of a risk.
Oh, itu si Victor ya.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
that
itu
is absolutely beautiful.
Victor.
That man has become a part of the game. As Team Liquid use up the Viper's ult, the pit down on A site. We've seen this. Sorry, OpTic, excuse me. We saw it from Team Liquid in the previous half, and
itu GLHF Son, iya anjir. Oh, Victor sih. Victor mah.
To have a similar idea, whether it's the Viper's pit or not, you have a trap outside of the A site, and the entirety of TL.
Wilson, GL5 Son adalah kayak
Big challenge
caster Valorant Indo gitu.
that OpTic so desperately need.
Wilson.
Wilson.
Kacau berarti ada harusnya.
Ada, tapi tadi bukan kacau itu. Beda. Kenapa gue Victor ya? Victor masih itu guys, OpTic Victor.
Apa tadi dia bilang? Yang dia tulis?
My friend is invisible. Terus si Wilsonnya megang sign Viper's ult. Dia jadi Viper's ult gitu loh.
Just absurd. Good response by Crashies. Can he make it out? The spams are coming for him. They can't see, but they light him to 76 anyways, and his steps are heard. Nevera waiting just around the box, but he turns his back at the wrong moment, and that will cost him his life.
Nevera keculik.
A foothold for OpTic. And
Wah, Ye keculik.
That costs Ye his life. His teammates nowhere nearby to get the trade. The roaming op deleted, and what can OpTic do?
Wah, nge-whiff, Mar.
Finesse. The final hope for OpTic to take this buy
Kiri
round
lu.
to avoid their economy going into the dirt, and Team Liquid knocking on
Waduh.
victory's door. 11-6. Two more. They're looking untouchable on the Team Liquid side.
Yeah, OpTic have had a shaky breeze throughout this tournament, Matt. The
dulu nih biar
region
semangat nih
pretty
adik-adik.
strong for them, even in the previous tournament, looked pretty decent, but
Bisa-bisanya si Xtreem anjing ulti mau kelar lompat dulu ngebunuh.
Look at what has happened to Victor, and I feel bad for the guy. That is just unfortunate. They did so well to slow down that ult, and just with the last second.
Ini tryhard-tryhardnya OpTic juga, tim Liquid juga nggak mau kalah masalahnya.
In every duel, he was just on his own, trying to create space, getting shut down, getting countered. Push up close, screen ready for this.
Ngapain, Tor?
Tahu Victor aneh banget.
Victor, lu ngapain kayak gitu, anjing? Lu kagak concussion, langsung nge-push kayak gitu, apaan sih?
Makes it look possible. I think that's one of the reasons they've actually invested into this
round.
Waduh, mantap tuh.
Lah,
Devin
the Hunt's Fury on the other side is going to make sure that there can be nobody really pushing upon this.
Terus lu ulti buat apa, bro?
Biar temennya bisa datang dulu, Vin.
Victor in hand, that shot dart did damage. It almost took Solkis down, but he'll survive and go back into the plant. Easy to take him down with a
oh, nice.
Nice banget.
Kena tuh. Si Nivera. Ayo dong, game sense dong, balas dong, Trashis. Ah, kocak.
They find another kill. OpTic on the back foot, and the odds ever increasing in Team Liquid's favor. A big push though. A chance for Finesse. Scream comes out ahead.
13-6 dah.
Almost online, and one last chance for OpTic. 6 rounds in a row, or Team Liquid.
Next. Thank you. Next. Ini loh, Victor agak jelas anjing.
Main Neon seakan lagi custom lawan Iron anjing.
Main Neonnya kayak gua anjing. Roasting terbaik adalah bilang gameplay pro player kayak gua. Bacot nih crowd. Berisik banget anjing.
Iya berisik banget tuh.
Wah untungnya nggak ada yang bilang left gitu, nggak ada.
Malam ada kayak gitu.
Fantastic trade for OpTic. A recovery on an early stumble, and look at the spot. Ye tucked in, ready for one, TPing out, keeping the advantage into NA's core.
Finesse kena flash sih.
Finesse though has come at a heavy cost.
Di shock dart.
Shock darts might actually be able to do a lot of damage. He's forced him into the open.
Hoki banget.
Last legs, and once again,
Aduh, 10 darahnya
solid position. He's avoided.
Hunter.
In fact, he's sneaking.
Mati lu, Yoi.
Who might not have any idea of where he's gonna be. The first kill is free.
Udah mati dah.
Nice.
This time.
Jadi padahal angle-nya udah enak banget itu solo cash ya.
About clinging to life at 12-7, but there's still plenty more to face off
Eropa
against.
sama
It might seem odd looking at the scoreboard. I think some of their setups are fantastic to get finesse in positions where he can catch players off guard. I think Ye's been doing well in some of these duels, but honestly, Crashy seems almost like the focal point for me. He's in so many of these clutch scenarios and delivered or come so close, and I think represents a large number of the rounds on the board for OpTic.
Yeah, and to be honest,
Sekarang
closer in this game,
kalem
probably
lu.
would have been for him winning like a 1v2 or something. Yes. Look at the pace though. Straight through.
Agak lucu kan kalau OT-nya ini map 1.
He's actually changed his mind. He wants to go hunting for Ye instead, forcing him back.
Apa sih? Apa sih? Victor?
Mistress at times and Yumpy
Jangan pernah lu pakai neon lagi Victor ya, gua kasih tahu sama lu ya.
Just 2 players remaining, Ye.
Lu kayak gua, bener-bener kayak gua anjing.
And already Marv is gone. It's left down to El Diablo, who has managed to find 2.
Carry the game anjing, kasihan banget punggungnya.
Udah tetep mati, bro.
A 1v5 ace needed.
Wah,
He's
anjing.
gonna get himself a third already. Tag
Wah, anjing.
Just one
Aduh, hampir ace anjing.
from the man himself. But this time, nothing OpTic did was enough.
That was an incredible performance from Team Liquid, start to finish. They've earned the respect of the crowd now for sure. We know the next
Wah, langsung pulang mereka. Dadah katanya.
OpTic can feel confident on. They can feel good, but the reality is, come out of a map like that, now the reverse sweep is needed, and hell, I don't even know.
Tadi 3v5, bro.
Much of a back foot on Bind.
In that case, I would disagree. Like, I just think that their
Guys, gua
bind is
mendukung
so
tim Liquid,
ridiculously
guys,
strong.
karena
That
OpTic
this was the
ngalahin
win
Boom.
condition for Liquid. They had to come in.
Justru gua mendukung OpTic karena mereka legasinya Boom.
And the reason for that is because Bind is heavily in favor of OpTic. Now, sure,
Ini loh,
maybe there's
ini
a
nih.
world when they get into the form we just saw in that
Awal
map and they
adrenalinnya
seal it
naik
away.
dari situ tuh, Vin.
But I think
Iya.
that against this
Jampi
OpTic,
langsung
that's still gonna be
confidence-nya
very, very
boost,
difficult.
anjir.
Ascent, on the other hand, though, I think if we get there, we'll be incredibly.
Jar, pala lu mental
I
langsung.
think so. Chances are we end up there as we've heard.
Ah, gitu lo. Kawan Boom ya senyum-senyum lu.
I'm sure the mental reset should be easy to reach. The thing is, the win. I don't care about the mental, if I'm being honest. This form shown by Liquid, to hell with your stats. These guys are looking good, and map 2 is going to require everything that OpTic have got in the tank. If they're going to take it across the line, bring us to Ascent, and then win it there. I heard from Xtreem in the interview beforehand, the pressure's off, but that's not true for OpTic.
I don't believe him on
Kita
that.
sarkas
Listen
lagi.
to Scream always wants to
Gak ada
win.
Nasarudin
Scream
nih.
always wants to win,
Gak
but
ada
no, one
Nasarudin
hell of a
baru ini.
start. An
Bain ya.
amazing first map, and we're going to be throwing this one off to a break and then back with the desk to see if they believe if OpTic can turn this one around.
Tadi Kurniawan, welcome to Definition Silver. Tapi gue bingung sih kadang sama tim-tim kayak gini ya. Kayak lo tahu nih tim Liquid win rate-nya di Breeze gede banget, lo nggak ban. Lo tahu nih OpTic di Bind gede banget, lo nggak di ban. Kenapa ya? Scripted deh anjing ini.
Gue lihat kan band mapnya 2 nih kan.
Iya.
Nah jadi kayak misalnya dia nggak mau nih main di Heaven, terus dia ngebandnya Heaven ya kan, otomatis kan langsung di pick nih pertama nih, di pick sama si lawannya kan. Lawannya otomatis bakal ngepick ini Vin, map yang mereka jagoin.
Iya, yang gue bingung tuh prioritas mereka adalah map yang mereka nggak mau main, bukan map yang musuh lu jago, gitu loh.
Ya itu dari
Kayak
kemarin
kita kalau main bahkan dia unstang ke 10.000-nya. Kayak gue bingung gitu.
Ya. Makanya itu kan dari awal turnamen kan kayak
Dari
gitu.
Boom
mereka
juga
nge-ban
gitu,
ya.
Boom juga gak ban-ban. Berapa kali OpTic tuh di-ban sih? Jaya ya OpTic di-ban ya.
Apa ya kalau gue lihat Bind kan map lama kan Vin ya. Jadi kayak banyak yang pede gitu loh. Ah nggak apa-apa Bind gitu loh.
Ya itu kayak lu nggak, ya makanya gue bilang jadinya kau nggak ngerespek gitu loh jatuhnya. Lu
Iya,
tahu nih,
iya.
lawan lu nih jago banget nih di Breeze nih. Lu nggak ban Breeze. Win rate-nya tim Liquid di Breeze tinggi banget anjir.
Tinggi emang.
Nah tapi win rate-nya OpTic di ban juga tinggi banget.
Tapi OpTic pernah bau loh di ban.
Kalau lu ngomongin pernah bau, tim Liquid juga pernah bau sekali di Breeze. Cuma tetap di atas 65% tuh udah tinggi, Jo. Win rate lu di map itu. Berarti lu cuma kalah berapa kali gitu. Mending ban map terkuat musuh daripada map yang jelek tim lu sendiri. Nah kalau gue mikirnya kayak gitu. Seenggaknya logikanya gini loh, lu ban map terkuat musuh nih, ya kan? Lu main di map yang lu sama-sama nggak jago gitu loh.
Sebenarnya kayak gitu lebih enak, cuman kan kita nggak tahu strategi orang kan.
Nah itu maksud gua nggak ngerti strateginya mikirnya ke arah mana gitu.
Atau mungkin ada mafia score? Waduh,
nah itu nggak tahu, kayak gue bilang kalau scripted nggak tahu kita.
Iya.
Too much, so I think this is not the most unexpected result. We ourselves said that this was a must-win map for TL for the most part because if they drop this going into bind, just give it.
Gue juga merhatiin itu dari awal turnamen. Gue lihat lah,
TL they get over the
kok
first hurdle
mereka
in pretty
ngebannya
damn
kayak gini
convincing
ya.
fashion.
Yeah, no, I
lebih ke kayak map yang mereka nggak suka di ban.
Iya.
See all the stats for everyone. I feel like everyone at Team Liquid had contributed quite a bit in this game, and I gotta say though, hats off to EA at the end there.
Ini sama loh sama itu.
Match MVP ya.
Lagi gue. When's the last time you get to see him up here shining like a star when Yappy and Xtreem are playing the way
Masa di tiap kompetisi ada konspirasinya, bro. The whole team was trading each other out really well on the defense side. They were playing amazing.
Tapi gue percaya sih yang namanya skrip-skrip kayak gitu tuh.
Ya itu tidak bisa dihindari sih kawan.
Iya. Apalagi lu udah sekelas dunia gitu kan. Lu itu kan udah IPO ya bro ya. Kalau udah kayak Liquid, Sentinel, OpTic, lu tuh udah IPO. Pasti shareholder lu tuh ada board of meetingnya gitu loh. Dan mereka pasti ada main-main belakang segala macam. Itu gue cukup percaya kalau masalah kayak gituan ya. Hanya mungkin ya udahlah, nurut aja lah. Kita kan digaji doang gitu, mereka kan ya udah nurut aja lah.
I still have some concern for TL Zero deeper into
Gue
this
mau
tournament.
ngelanjutin cuman gue takut anjir.
Jangan ya, udah cukup ya adik ya.
Sampai lagi nih.
Udah cukup ya adik manis, sampai di situ
Cukup
aja.
ya adik-adik.
Maybe like a semi-final or something if they can make it there. They suddenly change it up and try to catch their opponents off guard because against some stronger teams on Breeze, they are going to have
Tapi
struggles.
susah Riot kalau mau main belakang gitu. Cina aja di ban 1 tahun gara-gara ada yang kayak gitu. Ya bro, mana ya bro ya.
Kita nggak bilang Riotnya,
Kan itu sama aja lah, lu kayak jatuhnya politik gitu kan. Sama aja bro. Itu kan pinter-pinternya aja mereka gimana.
Ini mau dilanjut nih, ha? Biar lebih dalam nih.
Kayak Erik Manis ya.
Kalau dilanjut so masih kedua kali nih gue nih.
So it's all kind of like setting it up for the comeback with bind and take it to that map 3. But Emil, with the addition of him, I've noticed a lot of good.
Wih kosong tuh lihat belakang caster itu.
Lagi pada keluar beli jajan, Vin.
Oh beli Jasuke ya?
Betul. Sama kebab
telur gulung.
Jagung susu kebab.
Anjir. Masukin jagung susu kebab jadinya.
But with the way that TL are playing right now, the way that they're trading off of
one another, enak banget tuh. Enak banget tuh es tuh.
Identify where everybody is at, and then the rest of the team comes, floods the sites, bing bang boom, everybody's dead.
Yeah, well,
that
is true, especially if this guy keeps playing like this because it's time for
lu udah pernah ini belum jawab? Jus buah naga semangka sama lemon.
Belum. Gue nggak bisa kena jus naga, rasanya hambar aja nyep-nyep doang.
Kan pakai semangka sama lemon.
I mean, in the interview,
habis itu tambahin tequila dikit.
Buset.
Jadi tequila lagi. Tequila lagi itu ibu.
Jadi tequila bom.
Hitting shots over and over again. It was just wonderfully played because a lot of people you might get into that situation. You're just like constantly shifting back and forth. Where are they? And he's just like,
ke somasi ya ini.
He looks icy.
Guys, di somasi itu seru tau.
Yeah, he looks
Ngomong.
dare I say, right?
I'm not giving you credit for that.
Anyway, before we move on,
Katanya kontrak Tenzi udah mau habis di Sentinel. Kira-kira dia bakalan masuk tim mana bang menurut abang? Peluang dia tim ini cuma 2 sih. Kalau nggak Sentinel lagi 100 if.
Siapa?
Tenzi. Soalnya
buyout.
Iya, menurut gue sih lanjut Sentinel ya.
Iya, buyoutnya mahal banget.
Enggak kan kontraknya udah habis, nggak di buyout.
MLP-nya nggak jago MLP nih.
Iya, cuman kan kita nggak tahu, Vin.
Setahu gue kalau kontrak udah habis nggak ada biaya penalti buyout.
Kan ada klausulnya juga.
Klausul apa tuh?
Klausul ini kan pembelian pasti ada.
Tergantung sih jatuhnya ya. Kalau misalnya memang dia udah resmi keluar nih. Enggak, kayak Shroud nih. Shroud itu kan gak diakuisisi. Dia emang ya rekrut gitu loh, bukan di buyout atau diakuisisi. Jadi nggak ada, nggak bisa kayak maksudnya lu nggak bisa kasih patok harga mahal gitu loh. Karena nggak ada management fee, nggak ada penalti fee. Kan yang bikin mahal itu sebenarnya penalti fee-nya itu loh. Jadi kalau misalnya lu mau buyout, padahal kontraknya masih ada, penalti fee-nya mesti lu bayar, tim yang mau buyout. Nah itu tuh yang bikin mahal tuh penalti fee-nya tuh.
Split tuh lagi di work ya, Split ya.
Oh, gue denger Tenzi mau masuk ke ini ya, Cucurutut Esport.
Ya, Devin udah dapat sponsor tuh guys.
Gue udah scouting dia sih, gue udah kontekan sama manajernya.
Pokoknya yang masuk tuh Yai, Kangkang, Les,
Tenzi,
siapa lagi? Tenzi,
sama
itu tim duel semua tuh.
Loh nggak apa-apa. Di gua mereka memang metanya beda.
Iya. Satu lagi katanya Mebas tuh mau ditarik tuh.
Iya Mebas.
Kira mau itu, Jing.
Halo.
Halo.
Halo, coach kita datang. Coach nggak mancing, coach. Ini mancing, coach.
Enggak, mau radio aja.
Kita habis ini habis meeting sama sponsor tuh barusan.
Gimana Ton, udah telepon manajernya Tenzi kan tadi kan?
Bisa.
Kita mau ngerekrut ke Cucurutut Esport kan? Anjing. Jampi.
Gua makan apaan tiba-tiba rekrutnya.
Kita kan mau Cucurutut Esport.
Keep it on. Okay, I was about to say, like, keep
Yeah,
it on.
anjing,
I
wait.
want to know, but yeah, man. I mean, look,
That derailed everything I was saying.
But I think that honestly plays into the point that I was making about
Sponsornya siapa? Bang Gaming.
Bang Gaming Store kan udah baru tuh, udah makin gede kan, udah ada office. OpTic juga kan nih, OpTic Boost Coffee juga kan, udah mulai ekspansi kan.
Bang Gaming tuh di tengah-tengah ada chest tuh.
Parah.
Di jersey-nya.
Bah Gaming doang tuh ya, kiri kanan Bah Gaming, belakang Bah Gaming tuh.
Bah Gaming.
Yoi.
Sebaju tuh Bah Gaming.
Satu baju Bah Gaming bro. Malu kali ya Tenzi ya, dari sponsor gede, Bah Gaming doang jersinya.
Di sana sponsornya ROG, ya kan? Red
Di sini
Bull.
Bah Gaming semua.
Tadi live ada Bang Gaming-nya.
Iya. Kayaknya meskipun kita bayar dia 2 kali gajinya, dia nggak mau masuk sih kalau jersinya kayak gitu sih. Malu gue.
Liquid win. Gak ada OpTic comeback ini. Sekalian aja nama e-sportnya Bah Gaming e-sport.
Enggak, Cucurutut tetep. Soalnya enak, CCRT kan disingkatnya kan. Kalau Bah Gaming, Mbah. Bah.
Mbah.
Man, but in the back of my mind though, I can't help but think that
Gimana Cucurutut dibaca sama orang luar? Cucurutut gitu.
Sisi arti lah kan.
Enggak kan, kalau kan dibaca, iya dibaca full ya. Kayak misalnya apa? Perek, Paperek gitu kan. Di CRT Chu Road.
Emang nggak PRX?
Enggak, Paperek. Kan PRX itu emang singkatan dari Paperek gitu.
Nggak, emang dibacanya mereka nggak PRX.
Enggak, dibaca ya kadang PRX, kadang Paperek. Kalau misalnya lagi kayak It's time for OpTic Gaming versus PaperX. It's time for Chuchurotu versus OpTic Gaming. Anjay. Bangga gua kalau Chuchurotu dimension.
Logonya kayak gimana tuh logonya tuh? Gua lagi membayangkan logonya.
Logonya ada belangkon nembah lah.
Aduh.
Kan main sponsor, bro.
Iya.
Ada gambar rusanya dia.
Rusa pakai belangkon. Udah Darren.
Buset.
Hey guys, what's up? I wanted to just ditch after that one because you know what? I can back out of any statement if I want to. I'm always willing to throw my hands up.
Langsung rame lagi tuh.
So if OpTic come around, that'd be great. But GB, I've never seen a man after one map abandon an entire region.
Di Jesse ada muka Darren ntar.
WWE style hype up for NA and now
Di belakang.
Yang botak gitu loh.
Aduh.
Anjir.
Malu banget gue jadi tensi juga, gue mendingan resign anjing. Iya, kenapa ya nggak ada yang kayak gitu ya? Nge-troll gitu loh kayak Sultan Arab gitu kan ya. Kayak bikin tim e-sport tapi muka dia gitu logonya.
Iya sih, bisa sih.
Kan bisa ya, mereka kan sebenarnya bisa tuh punya duit nge-troll gitu kan. Itu tapi jadi marketing loh, jadi pasti jadi meme itu.
Iya, unik.
Iya. Terus rekrut pemain-pemain gede kan. Terus di jersey-nya ada muka dia. Misalnya
Lagi
Abu Dhabi.
muka dia lagi ini.
Lagi megang cerutu.
Nomor minyak.
Tekan timnya aja muka dia. Oke, kita masuk ke match yang kedua.
Kenapa tarik join Sentinel tapi dia nggak ambil sponsor Sentinel juga? Kalau orang-orang kayak Shroud, kayak tarik, mereka itu eksklusif kontrak guys. Jadi kontrak mereka itu nggak sama kayak pemain-pemain lain, karena mereka itu udah punya nama kan. Dan Sentinel juga ngerekrut mereka tujuannya kan buat dapetin exposure nama mereka. Jadi otomatis ada eksklusif deals lah yang cuma mereka yang dapet, dan mereka pasti kayak, oh gue kan sebelum sama lu udah ada sponsor nih, ya gue gak bisa nih ya pakai sponsor lu ya, nggak apa-apa ya, nggak apa-apa Rick. Gitu. Wah dia nggak nengok kiri, Wah anjing, wah ngeding itu, Dimas kena ding itu, nice.
Jampi sakit tempur kah?
Ini agentnya mirror ya? Oh, cuma beda Viper sama Brim doang. Oh ya, ada Stage sama Chamber ya?
Iya, Chamber mulu.
Dia mau kasih lihat. Tadi gua nggak bersinar kan? Nih. Lu lihat nih, kata Ye abis ini. Gua bikin bertekuk lutut lo sama Chamber gua.
Dikasih tutor nanti. Tutor Chamber nih dek, digituin lo. Champion.
This team looks untouchable on the map, and Team Liquid are keeping with their same trajectory of being terrible in pistols.
That's the thing as well. You're talking about teams like Xset, DRX, PaperX, FPX. Two of those were the last finalists.
Gara-gara meta turnamen nih sekarang orang round 2 langsung belanja anjir. Kalau di ranked.
Belanjanya Bulldog sekarang semuanya, karena Bulldog bisa dipakai buat lawan Pandal.
Tapi emang gue dari dulu kalau menang beli Spectre.
Kalau gue enggak, gue selalu cuma beli half armor doang.
Makanya kan si itu kadang bilang si Devin bilang, ini itu lu buat gue aja, ghost tuh buat gue sini Jok.
Mati ini. Mati Vanessa. Dapat Despector.
I think he expected them to just stay back after the utility went through and instead just re-aggress back into position. Now this needs to be some miracle shots coming out from Yumpi.
Wow.
Marv had to be very quick on the trigger. He could have lost 2 teammates in a split second instead.
Anjing,
rotation coming through and actually
dapat molly.
down to the Molotov.
They placed a
Nice
little trap
banget.
for him there. He goes to run through the smoke and instead he's met with the flames. And you say where there's smoke, there's fire, but not always.
Mabuk lah.
Dimasic hasn't heard that one before.
Yeah, no, he might. He'll be coining that phrase from here
He
on out.
does love running through smokes. That's something that we've seen quite a bit in previous matches. I'm very happy we don't have Haven today because he gave me 9.
Apa tuh Yei tiba-tiba ngebunuh piercing apa wallbang
In
anjing.
this one at least, relatively clean.
Nivera mati.
Himself an SMG, but Marv,
Udah pasti
I'm gonna
tuh,
be honest, he
angle-nya
already
udah
looks much
end.
stronger on this map than the last.
I'll even say on the sands actually, just on the point of running through smokes. I've never seen Dimasic with some.
Oke, bonus round nih. Kita lihat apakah TL bisa menang bonus round.
It's like a point where they were pushing aside.
Bold.
Wah, ini OpTic nyerang dulu ya.
Okay, slightly
Iya.
different.
Wah, kalau OpTic bisa dapat 6 nyerang sih.
But here we go. Team Liquid full buy up. They get the
GG
rifles
sih.
and play
Game
light
cepet aja.
shields, though.
Game
A few
cepet itu.
disadvantages here and a few pieces
Lu lihat
of missing
Vin
utility.
sebelah Vin,
You already see a
0-0-0-0.
Snake Bite's like,
2.
This definitely isn't a comfortable buy all round. They wanted to have more impact even in the
Kompak
previous
banget
round.
tuh.
OpTic, well, they've set themselves
Kalau lu
up
gak nge-kill, gua gak nge-kill, bro.
fantastic bonus.
Brother love.
The opportunity right away to see space, grab an orb, and well,
Oh,
that's a fantastic early round. Hey,
rotate.
you're on this round, you'll take every little advantage you can get.
Marv not far away from that orbital strike.
Ini nih, skin ini nih, Seno Hunter punya pisau nih. Bener-bener definisi pisau default, digedein dikit, terus dikasih animasi. Udah lihat deh. Yei lompatnya pakai scroll.
Yang skin yang hitam itu loh.
Skin hitam.
Yang kotak itu loh.
Hitam kotak, apa tuh?
Ada skin yang hitam kotak-kotak doang isinya.
Pisau.
Enggak, senjatanya.
Oh, kotak-kotak doang yang ini. Yang minima ya?
Iya. Yang kayak model Roblox anjir.
Yang kayak Spectre Z punya tapi polos kan.
Iya.
Mati Xtreem. Wah, nice. Nivera kira mati itu si Crashy. Mati lu Solkas. Mati dah lu, timing dah. Kan? Timing.
Itu vandal bang.
Oh,
udah bang, langsung diambil bang, langsung di trade sama dia.
Game cepat ada nih dah.
Team Liquid immediately calling a timeout. That was a statement round from OpTic.
Lain playgroundnya OpTic. Iya makanya gue bilang tuh gitu guys. Jadi tadi itu OpTic terlihat culun karena playgroundnya Team Liquid di Breeze. Nah sekarang playgroundnya OpTic di ban. Itu yang gue bingung. Kenapa mereka sama-sama ngasih playgroundnya gitu? Kenapa nggak di ban?
Apakah ada konspirasi di dalamnya?
Apakah ada eliminisasi dan juga reboisasi di game ini? Nah, itu dia.
Wow, reboisasi apaan anjing?
Ya kan namanya ada sasi-sasinya biar keren gitu loh.
Iya, animasi gitu.
Animasi.
Apakah ada kontrasepsi?
Iya.
Kontradiksi?
Didiskualifikasi dan juga tentunya antisipasi dari sebuah tim yang tentunya sudah mendominasi.
Dan juga adanya emansipasi.
Betul. Dan jangan lupa selalu stay dehidrasi, ya kan?
The fact is though, OpTic are just a different beast on this map, and again,
Reboisasi
Marv
anjing.
just individually has started off much stronger. I'm a little bit worried already for Liquid, and I think they are too. They know how difficult this map is going to be. Early pause makes sense.
Gua kayaknya live streaming Big Mouse lagi dah.
Kepo kan lu siapa Big Mouse kan?
Kayaknya antara ini gue
rasa kayaknya lu nonton aja lu kaget ntar.
Kayaknya gue jago deh sudah menebak deh.
Episode berapa lu, Jok?
7.
The thing is though, this map was still very good.
Spoiler dah, Asta kan suka banget spoiler.
Ini Sheriff ini enak banget loh skin itu tadi.
Gampang banget.
To end there, they'll be very happy with it. It's more so just the same that we said about OpTic in the last map. If Liquid just get boomed here,
Lu udah nonton selesai tahun 13. Berarti ntar malam nonton nih.
You heard it in the interview that Team Liquid said there's no team that
Kan
has
dari list nih
that
14 kan.
team atmosphere that they do.
Sheriff favorit gua itu sheriffnya ini Jo, yang edisi collab sama Wild apa? League of Legends.
Iya itu keren sih.
Yang kayak Pirates punya.
Jadi kalau lu iniin dia itu apa? Reloadnya kayak revolver gitu.
Iya. Kan emang revolver bang.
Kan revolver itu bang.
Reloadnya kayak ini senjata pirate yang ada 2 barrel gitu loh, tau gak lo?
Iya.
Oh tahu.
Yang warnanya ungu.
Pokoknya yang limited edition collab sama League of Legends. Bukan League of Legends, filmnya, animasinya League of Legends yang di Netflix itu loh.
Dipakai si Xtreem tadi. Si Xtreem siapa?
Arkane. Iya, Arkane.
Jampi.
Iya, Jampi tadi. Itu, gue nyesel banget tuh nggak beli anjing. Gue lagi pensiun Valorant, demen banget gue.
Itu udah nggak keluar lagi.
Udah nggak bakal keluar lagi. Itu sama kayak bundle Champions gitu. Itu tiap kali ada yang punya gue tuker aja. Kayak mental booster gue.
Yang punya tuh Igo ya ada.
Majority player Valorant yang main terus ada semua sih.
Genuinely don't know what the plan is here. Like what he's hoping to achieve from this position. He's gonna have to just run all the way around and try and die to the spike, and I don't think he's gonna do it in time. So yeah, he's kind of just trounced his own economy and found absolutely nothing for it. Bit of a weird one, and because of that, he's gonna have to play the Guardian in the next round.
Vandal. Guardian.
I'm always willing to give him the faith.
Kalau mereka kalah lagi 6-0.
Yang penting jangan kayak 100 Thief anjir, buang round. Itu lu buang round. Buang round gitu sama aja ngasih duit ke musuh.
Aduh, Solkas.
Wih, anjing. Ya dapet aja anjing.
OpTic.
Baru lihat minimap udah mati itu.
Gue lagi ngeliat ini tiba-tiba ada
lagi ke flash dia.
Lagi kena flash.
They haven't cleared the box, and now they do. A blast
gaming anjing banget sih.
And the sight seems to be theirs. Screen
jadi mundur aja.
way around. Might not expect him to be here this quickly.
He's got to hope for a decent timing. Nobody missing on the side of OpTic.
Bang Xtreem.
These rounds are looking devastating.
Bang Xtreem, kamu kalau kamu nggak nge-clutch, udah kelar Bang Xtreem.
Di masih sini.
Yeah, look what he's up against too.
Wes, Ye, kasih paham Ye. Kasih paham Ye.
Hunter nggak sih, Hunter?
Kasih paham Ye.
Short of them just swinging out and giving duels, which you can see they are not looking to do.
Kasih paham Ye, nge-push Ye.
3 orang anjing mati lo.
Victor decimating. Again, we're talking about players who in the last map were struggling to get anything done. Now it almost seems like any one of them can just individually win a round. Liquid's attempt at aggression.
Makan tuh Yampi.
And then just this
nggak jelas tuh Victor.
Send out this initial push from Finesse, but his teammates are so ready to just try and swing onto
Bang Xtreem.
30 minutes ago, these players were hyping each other up, screaming along with the crowd.
Minum sekrim, oh yeah.
Turkish casters, you could hear a pin drop.
Absolutely.
Nggak ada ikan.
Extra denger tuh ketawa tuh dia.
Oke.
Ngerti ya jokes di Oskada nih. Receh juga ya orang Eropa ya.
5-0 start. Ulti's coming online. Victor on tear. Oh, we've got a crazy attack.
Waduh. Ayo lu, mati lu. Iya nih Vera punya itu.
Mars was waiting, orbital strike in hand.
Mati lu FNS.
They've cleaned up some, but Solkas, that could be the chance they needed.
Ye, saatnya El Diablo.
5-0
El Diablo.
down. They come in with pistols.
doang kata dia, lawan PT doang nih.
Udah nih.
They've caught OpTic on
Segini doang.
Por aja.
Tadi 1v5 anjir tadi, hampir ace dia kan. 1v5 dia tadi.
This fight could be everything.
Aduh, El Diablo.
This is not one that he's willing to take.
Solkas mati nih. Waduh, di pick semua. Aduh, di bait sama burung. Nggak diledakin.
not necessarily recreatable. A very aggressive attempt with the
Tenang
pistols.
bang, duit mereka
Almost getting
9.000
caught
bang.
up by the orbital
Santai,
strike, but they
bro.
do manage to convert the round.
Itu beli kebab kembalian masih bisa beli ST tuh
That's the
sehotel.
problem. You know, for
Parah.
OpTic, they got caught off guard by that. You'll struggle to repeat it. Whether it's that player or
Kena
another.
ulti anjir.
It's rare to see this team on the back foot. They've got plenty of credits to dig deep, get their buy, and now look to play.
I feel like Emil has two jobs. He's the coach.
Devin dapat izin watch party. Dapat, Woody. Aku official hostnya.
Is what his secondary employment. And honestly, if he keeps up like this, he might actually have to switch and have that as his primary job.
Could be his new main gig. Who knows? We'll see what we can do.
Ayo, ayo.
He wants to play across
Headshot.
the stage from his brother.
Anjing ngeri banget cok.
Dah, yuk, rotate yuk.
Just so solid.
Gak apa-apa, itu pasti Viper sendirian itu katanya. Oh nggak jadi ada Sage dia. Rotate, fake rotate. Fake rotate, jangan, fake rotate.
It was going to take a couple low-risk battles. Look at the pressure. It's on its way into the Viper's pit. It's looking for a victim.
Wah, sayang banget kurang ke tembok, mati lu Xtreem.
Barely any damage done, and Xtreem shuts Victor down. Now we're in a bit of trouble. The sprays, the snake bites, doing damage, but not taking Crashies out. The decay now starts to fade away, and his health recovers. OpTic, they've walked into a pretty tough position, but they've come out. Now with the advantage time on their side, Viper's pit is now countered completely.
Ulti Brim nggak dipakai.
Tahu dipajang sampai pulang.
Aduh, belakangnya kosong tuh.
Dia nggak ngelihat ya si Jumpy ya.
Scream has found another as well. Finesse has been able to trade it, but now it's all up to him. And a variable close. Back-to-back rounds for Liquid. Finally see them turn up into this map.
Time out nggak sih OpTic? Yuk.
Belum.
Habis ini kalau menang lagi time out.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. You know, 2 very good rounds from Liquid, but such a long road to go, and it might not be as stacked against them as OpTic had on the previous map. But
Pandal gue demen cuman ini Prime, River, sama RGX.
Advantages garnered coming back into those fights, despite the fact that again the more powerful pieces of utility were countered out completely. Nevera's Viper's pit, they just bypassed it. It went in a completely different direction, and despite the orb up, the snake bite down,
kalau Vandal gue paling suka RGX. Kalau Phantom gue paling suka Singularity gue.
Belinya Ion. Gue Ion, Oni sama itu. Turududung gitu.
Hitting every single shot that was put in front of them. This game could go back out of their control, whereas thus far it's been fairly calm and collected. A pistol victory coming through for Liquid. It's not even a rarity.
Mereka per orang dikasih kalung ya.
This all the time. It's more so that they managed to convert the next round. And now coming up with the old economy, Yay already having that tour de force available. Finesse could even try and come up with a strat that revolves around that.
Kalau udah keluar logonya dilelehin,
jadi
emas gepengan.
Make sure they're being careful not to give too much away, not only to the res, but more importantly that orbital strike.
That's exactly it. The impact was found by OpTic's orbital strike.
Gue suka Singularity guys. Nomor 2 kalau buat Sheriff, nomor 1 gua kan Arcane punya, nomor 2 Singularity juga.
Gue Ion sih, enak banget Sheriff Ion.
Ion gue di Phantom lah, nomor 2 lah. Nomor 1-nya Singularity, 2 Phantom. 2 Phantom, 2 Ion. Kalau Spectre, gue sekarang paling suka blubub-blubub.
Reduce the risk of walking into a
stack. Sumpah blubub-blubub.
Tapi satisfying.
Getting ready to be popped again. One of these executions out of the shower doors has been so tough for them to play against. But the nade actually drops Victor. A decent start.
Tapi udah hilang setengah nyawanya masih ini.
Sih udah masuk baik.
From bathrooms as Yay sneaks his way in.
Yay control mid-nya mantep.
They might even be able to plant safely from here. They want a little more. And it's
Yay
following the volley right in. That's perfect. A great bait to push them out of position. The crowd control now coming back as Yay is forced into his teammates' Molotov. It giveth and it taketh away, but in the end, OpTic They're in a 3v3 with a Viper's Pit post plant and Marved undetected on middle.
That's the thing. This fight with Marved is going to be the ending factor.
Buset.
He's already managed to take down Demasic. A nasty surprise of him still lurking around this corner, and they need to clear him out before they can get anywhere near that Viper's Pit. He just did a fair amount of damage onto the Vera.
Crashes.
is more than ready for it, turning things into an
Saatnya clutch gak sih,
advantageous position
Vanessa?
for Liquid.
Just slid the clip back in. That was so unfortunate.
Aduh.
Sprays for Solkas, delivering another
just
with
defusing.
Mark down.
Vanessa?
He's just
Diffuses
defusing.
underway. Vanessa!
Lah,
He thought they'd fake
Vanessa?
it. They tried to bait him through the doors, but
Kenapa
no.
Vanessa?
Solkas, he looked dead to rights at a point.
Vanessa
And he
AFK.
comes out with almost every scalp under his belt.
Gatel dong ya pintar
3 rounds now for Liquid, and they have come alive.
The orbital strike was nice, but
Yampi akhirnya
just the
nge-kill, bro.
audacity to just stick this within. And I think it's just the fact that the spray comes through from Soulcast from the exact position that the spike was being diffused from. So the assumption there, and not a wrong one from Finesse, is that, okay, he must have let go and shot back.
Buset.
Unfortunately, it was slightly to the left of him where that diffuse comes through.
ke toilet bentar dia.
But 3 in a row now
Toilet
for Liquid.
bentar.
Starting to really build back into this first half.
I hope the boys have a meal
Itu race-nya
turned
maju
down
gerak
on whatever
selangkah aja dari
communication
box.
app they're using, or their eardrums might have just been burst.
They might have that problem anyway, I'll be honest. He's not that far away.
Yeah, he's still a little too close.
Wah.
Scream
Bang
with a
Xtreem,
double.
buset dah.
The first is something, but Marv going down, smokes removed, and OpTic on the back foot again. This is the start of the round, and well, it feels close to the end as well.
But that's the thing, a lot of success was coming for OpTic in those early rounds. Think about the amount of times that Ye was getting them the opening draw every time somebody aggressed. Now, well, it's starting to feel a little bit more like the first map, with those opening fights always going in the other direction. Ye, though, has been
Wah,
surprised, but this
vertical
round,
gaming.
he has taken over
Xtreem.
completely. 3 kills already, and
Xtreem.
you know what? I'd run away from him too.
Bukan
Trailblazer lead the way and hopefully find something. No information on the back of it, at least the space for Finesse to push up, but this is accounted for on the defensive side. He needs some great timing, and he's got it. Whoa, but he's caught with a snake bite in hand. His life spared for now. The plant to try to bait them forward, but nobody will make a move.
Xtreem lagi
Xtreem's on
ngebokong.
the flank. The rest of the team wants to hold the spawn.
Wah.
Finesse trying to push through and catch them off. Has caught himself with the plant down. Crash
kalah,
needs
bro.
another phenomenal
Jadi
clutch.
bro, bro.
The odds definitely stacked up against him.
Oh, that's
Aduh.
Kenapa lo tembak? Kenapa lo tembak? Angle kayak gitu ditembak lo.
For Team Liquid.
Panik.
OpTic,
Panik.
They started this out so well, Tom. They controlled it from start to finish, and now
Ini dapat 6 poinnya cukup kok OpTic. GG lu kalau udah dapat 6 poin di attacking.
Well, that's the thing, they already did. The second they lost 2 rounds.
Second, did they?
No,
the first, right, okay.
one. But
Iya, pas
only
defending
5-2,
lu lihat deh nih
they
AWP
made the
full AWP dia
realization,
pasti.
Liquid managed to win a round with pistols. In my mind, I was like, okay,
Full
they'll just
OP,
reset and
yeah.
go straight
Yeah,
back
yeah,
into
sure.
things. But it seems like Liquid have just hit another gear. Scream now moving up to the top of the board with his multi-frag. The round before was Soulcast having a multi-frag. It just seems like every single player on Liquid has just gone up another gear from the first few rounds. Tour de force in for Ye. Now this is where you really don't want to be taking too many aggressive peaks if you're on
Lagi
that
countdown nih.
Liquid side.
3, 2, 1.
And then the wall on this side, the flash up, it's actually
Wah, ke trap. Udah GG. GG udah. Udah GG itu. Udah lu gak bisa apa-apa itu. Kalau udah di situ angle spike udah gak bisa apa-apa itu. Thank you Hani Nurin, happy Mid Autumn Festival juga.
They've smoked it out. They've taken the control back, or at least they slowly will. And elsewhere, Ye was trying to find some space. OpTic are on the back foot, but at least the spike is now recovered. They still have no openings.
Kok dikasih sih gak dijagain anjing?
Running in blind, if anything, and at this point, I think
Aneh banget udah dapat angle enak spike drop di situ.
Here come the Seekers to confirm that.
Objektifin.
Yeah, just straight away, look at the rotation from Scream. He's looking to try and join up with the teammates, and OpTic know that means they have to go.
Molly still, it's keeping them out. They can't get through long, or they can actually. It bounced off, but well, then the gun comes through on Demasic. Trades are good, but not good enough. As the reinforcements arrive to be Team Liquid equalize 5-5.
Dari 5-0 jadi 5-5 ya bro.
If not the best on Tom, and right now,
They're looking clueless.
I'd almost be tempted to take that second pause. Like, just some of the rounds that have been happening, like, this is maybe one of the most cursed things I've ever seen. Like, I don't believe for a second that Yumpy's plan was to wait until he got flashed and then roll it. Like, unless he is a psycho, which there's arguments for and against, I'll put it that way. But just the fact that it was crashes with the spike as well. Like, that, it's just not the start you're looking for, and that shakes up the entire round. You lose your flashes at the start.
Aduh,
Yay over the last few has been a little bit quiet. Look at the confidence the team is
nah, gitu dong. Gila ya, Dimasik sih berani ya.
Maybe. Demasik down, Smoker gone, but presence on the A side as OpTic look to push forward, forcing Solkis out with the nade. He might be about to be peeked from sight, but look who else is sneaking around.
Halo. Di Lamps nggak dijagain tuh.
Just want to risk it on mid. They're just now
Mati dah. Wah, timing.
The orb up and he'll make it into the TP.
Timing.
There's no way that he hunts him down. The snake bite
kena bait.
by Victor in the
Kena bait sama Victor.
Great baits from OpTic. They're finally finding their stride here. Team Liquid are left in a 2 versus 5. And of course, Tom, again, it's the weaker eye that gives them this advantage. The chaos they had a flash. A flash went over on B.
Kalau saving mah mereka stay di B.
Okay, they're B, let's go A. The rotations will come through.
Not a bad read. Managed to drop one. The peek out from Solkas finds another. They've also managed to deny the plant with the nade, and he also has his showstopper online. The spike has started running in the other direction. They will make their way onto the other side of the map, and again, Victor just being able to hold from behind. It put Xtreem alone, trying to fight this one back. The timing's not bad through the snake bite. He's just frying within it, but he has turned it into a 1v2, Mitch.
There's no way he uses a showstopper here, not with 56 HP.
Kalau dia nge-kill satu di ulti.
Then it could come through, and it was close. The bullets whizzed by Finesse's heads, but he delivers them in return. 6 down for OpTic. They finally found another round, but
Nanda welcome back to Definition Silver. Nggak bisa guys. Tim Liquid udah defend aja kesulitan dia.
Well, that's probably the one round that Liquid really should.
Ini Bain itu map defend bro.
Those early battles, Demasik, a little bit silly. Then you had the attempt to put a snake bite through the TP, and they get caught by a player lurking behind. That was the kill there from Victor. So we are seeing a few of those elements from Liquid, but maybe they just get
kalau OpTic menang lagi, GG udah 13-5.
That was a stinger, that was a headhunter. So they have given OpTic their sig.
Waduh, Yumpy.
You know what though? I think we should put the ball down a little earlier. There we go.
Yeah, it's a good idea. But it has been broken wide open. Still, that opening duel, all they needed. Victor, the space taker for the team, the Neon on the previous map, and now your Raze blast packing in to take the crosshairs off the angles. Well, now he's being dealt with immediately. Xtreem still has a showstopper in his back pocket. They're close to having a res on Yumpy. Just one more op shot needed, and I think OpTic are going to be all too aware of that.
Dapat info lo Crazy.
Patient stuff.
Ini kayaknya mau commit ke A nggak sih? B-nya ngebait doang.
From Liquid on the edge of the lamps as well.
I think Finesse is about to have
udah muter kayaknya ke A. Ini commit A ini. Si Marv mau nyulik doang.
But luckily that shot didn't land. That could have ended OpTic's chances in this half of going out with a lead, but now they're in a 4v5, but with Pit down and Plant, this could still be their round.
The thing is, with the afterplant potential of Marv,
waduh, game sense.
Liquid need to move very fast. Look how far back he's playing, just making sure that he can't
itu si Marv mau main post plan itu. Ada ulti. Wah, Xtreem di cancel, udah GG dah.
This is looking less likely as the seconds go by.
Wah, GG dah GG. GG udah.
Once again. Demasik, Navira, desperation on the cards as there is nothing to be found. One extra kill, but as said, they are ready for these afterplant positions, forcing him back into the corner. The time is already gone, although there was a fantastic resurgence from Liquid, the half will go to OpTic.
Dah, ini GG sih harusnya.
As they close this out was looking inevitable when we started this map, but that comeback from Team Liquid, that streak of rounds, it's given them a chance, a lifeline over on their attack still though. OpTic seem to have found their identity again. There's been a couple of spanners in the works, but they didn't disappoint in these last 2 rounds.
Ini mereka tim Liquid udah tahu nih, wah udah kalah kita guys.
Exciting half, and well, although it slipped a little bit, let's see what the desk thought of that one.
Ini pasti mereka deep down udah tahu, wah udah nggak bisa nih.
So much, fellas, and yes, very exciting half.
OpTic di sini anjing katanya.
5 rounds, 1 straight for Liquid. These guys are boxing each other in the ring. You love to see it, but Bren, just starting off with you, man. There is a lot of interactions that are happening here, especially between Xtreem and Victor, or Yampi at the top, like Ye getting a lot of value as well. Feels like everyone has been contributing big in this game.
I think you see these big heroic moments from Xtreem pretty often as well, but
Gila. Emang sulit, bro. OpTic gaming ya. Playground-nya emang bener-bener di-bind anjir. Siapa lagi ya tim yang playground-nya di-bind ya? FPX di-bind ya? Oh, waktu itu kan OpTic diobok-obok ya? Di-bind ya? Sama PRX juga sih, sebenarnya PRX juga bind.
Gun rounds, they had a huge advantage actually over the course of this entire series. It's something along the lines of 75% of the time where Liquid have guns.
Fnatic juga di-bind ya? Oh, Fnatic juga di-bind.
Banyak playground bind.
Apa?
Cicerutut juga.
Ah, kunci lo.
Oh gitu kan.
Diam deh lu.
Cicerutut kan dia kan OpTic. Di-bind juga.
Cicerutut semua map, Bang.
Lu main Valorant dulu baru ngoceh deh lu.
Kan bukan kita yang main.
Kan kita harus jadi pinnacle-nya dulu.
Gitu.
Pioneer pinnacle dulu, kitanya harus jadi yang nyontoin dong.
Boom kalah di bind sama OpTic 13-5. Apakah terjadi dejavu di sini?
Jampi. Ih. Soy boy.
Mana Ior ada salah Ior. Ior.
Oh Ior mah nggak ke Istanbul, bos.
Ior di rumah, iya, kacau. Malah kacau nggak di share. Iya benar.
Kacau benar. Tadi udah.
Yang sama Wilson tadi
di map sebelumnya di Breeze. Valorant kalah aja ACS-nya Xtreem 300 plus. Lo percaya sama gua, Yei bersinar nih.
Yalah kalau sniper itu body kan.
Anjir gambarnya jelek banget.
Gambar kudanya jelek banget
itu anjing. Lu tahu ini? Lu tahu alpaka gak?
Alpaka.
Nah, kayak gitu aja. Cuman tuh versi anak TK.
OpTic have a 67% defensive round win rate on bind across stage 2 in champion. Gila.
67% adik-adik. Iyalah 11-7, makanya gede ACS-nya.
Turun kok guys, ntar jadi 200 doang. Xtreem.
Not been the best at throughout this tournament. They got 1 in this series, and I think only about 3 in the tournament.
yeah. So odds are not going to be doubling up this time around, but we'll see. The attack has Team Liquid look to the A side. Victor is waiting here, Marv right behind him, and even some utility from Finesse that can come in to help.
Ente naik ke situ,
ente kelar.
Ente turun.
Ente naik ke atas box. Sayonara ente.
They've sensed it. They've slowed it down with a minute left on the clock.
Jadi gue liat di layar depan ada orang di situ.
Enggak, ini mereka mau commit aja. Cuma nunggu 30 detik aja. Wah, ente kadang-kadang ente. Ya, telat. Telat si Victor.
Gak jadi, dia lempar bom.
Udah ya, udah pasti commit. Nah, commit tuh. Mati nih.
The pop flash giving them so much space, and the wall will garner them a plant. They've also caught Ye on the rotation. An incredible start from them in this second half. Can they convert?
Demasik just had himself lurking for the teleport.
Kalau lem menang, gigi nih. Kalau lem menang, menang. Lu mesti menang, Marv.
Finesse down. Crashies, the clutch player for OpTic on the previous map. Himself and Marv have been playing well, but not this well. That's a little too much to ask. 3 more kills and ace clutch.
Tapi not
4 crashies and time against him. The spike ticking away. He's got to run into a triple crossfire. He isolates 1 at least.
Reload lagi. Buset.
Crashies! That 4th kill unbelievable, but the
Udah nggak dapet. Itu kalau tadi FNS gak mati di belakang menang itu.
It's never easy, is it? It's never easy. Crashies did something else there, man. I mean, caught reloading, jumping up. I thought
Apakah?
No, yeah, well, he did, but the timing was maybe a little shaky, but still, unbelievable work from this guy. You put him in a 1vx, he's just a different beast.
And it means that there's a very high chance that going into their buy round, he's going to have Seekers online, which on the defensive side, the amount of free information you get, the amount, or basically just how passive you can be. A lot of value.
Udah mulai panas nih babangnya ini deh.
That's a very good reason for that. That's going to be the rifle actually drop to the deck. This is quite heavy investment coming through.
Udah.
This is starting to get shaky for Liquid.
Diambil senjata lu udah.
One to classics.
Two classics on a swing out bathroom, long range duel. This is an abysmal start, and for the heavy investment Team Liquid put in there, so many rifles to work with.
FNS.
Itu miskin gitu.
Itu blubub-blubub tuh yang dipakai Vera tuh.
Blubub. Aku cinta lu, mati lu, nih Vera lu. Mati lu Solcast lu. Mati lu Solcast lu.
They can't lose any. I mean, they've already lost too many. They can't lose anyone else from this point. And look what they're up against.
This is not like the buy we see from FPX where they haven't invested into other weaponry. They have invested into other weaponry and wow.
Apaan sih?
Not the best dodge of a flash I've ever seen.
Tapi dia udah nengok duluan sebelum di flash. Dia pre-counter flashnya gitu loh.
And there's a player close, and they're running out of time.
Gila.
25 seconds left.
Ditriftingin gini, bro.
They're almost
Pakai vandal sama pakai
to get something here, hoping there's someone giving him a free kill within this smoke, but they're in a crossfire. Soulcast tagged within inches of his life as well, and they have no time left on the clock. There's going to be crashes.
Dadah ya. 6 cukup ya, 6 yang kayak tadi ya.
Something that Team Liquid struggled to do all throughout this tournament.
Itu anti flash namanya Devinson. Iya, dia anti flash cuma sayang aja gitu.
Like this, and the timing, yes, it was horrendous. That nade popped just perfectly. Running through the wall as well.
Tuh dikasih kalung mereka tuh.
Mana ini nggak dapat ikannya?
Liquid void of a game plan when things went wrong, and ultimately they never should have went that wrong.
Ikan mulu lu pancing keributan kayak jok dipancing.
Losing the two classics. That is the thorn in the side that I think ultimately drew blood.
Ini kan diamond anjir, diamond gitu, diamond.
Oh, kelihatan tuh angle itu. Iya. Jar, ya. Kamu gimana? Kurang responsif ya.
They've only got pistols to play with. Ults are going to start to build up for OpTic as
Itu
well,
mata,
and they're
otak
going
sama
on
jari
to their
kurang
stronger
sinkron tuh.
defensive side.
Siap Bang Senden 3.
Feeling particularly
Oke,
good
udah
now
imo bagi,
for
bos.
Liquid on
Oh iya,
this map.
sorry.
But they have had heroes.
Itu M-Labs tuh.
Part of this map so
Aduh. Kiri lu.
Already managing to drop one, although
Nggak ada itu satu tim.
Temen bang.
Iya, salah lihat bang.
Kok kita berdua bang.
Iya bang.
Dimasic was pretty close to grabbing it, but he decided to go through the TP instead.
Aduh kena.
Weaponry disadvantage. The Seekers gain the information. OpTic should be looking for a rotation, but the reality is that TP could come in any moment.
Headshot nih.
They keep on their 2-2
setup.
Finesse.
Gotta be careful of Soul because he's already
mau
played
di-commit dari long, enggak sayang.
He's gonna be looking for more. That wall up though, this was the problem last time. They've already avoided the nade. But so much more that can come their
Wah,
way.
ini mereka mau push ngelong sih.
20 seconds left. And you can see there's already the crossfire in play. Flash out. They are going to be able to isolate Finesse.
Wah, dapat satu. Wah, udah.
A plant looking fairly
Cukup itu buat rotate.
They still haven't retrieved any guns.
Yeah, so even with the plant down, now holding on is going to be so much more difficult. Victor's coming behind.
Wah, udah. Udah, bro.
Last man alive.
Soulcast pasti nge-whiff.
He's about to be blitzed
100% Soulcast nge-whiff.
Blast pack peek, no, just
Aduh.
but it should be enough. Okay. Gets there in the end.
Yeah.
And he couldn't really defend that spot with a Marshall for long anyways. The reality is they did some damage, but with the context of how this half has begun, OpTic are well and truly ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing. Normally that would have been enough damage to make this purchase awkward, but because you handed them half of the guns that they have, it hasn't actually done any damage to the purchase whatsoever. Still though, in terms of ults, the only one online is going to be on the Liquid side. Seekers of course expended by crashes in the last round. Orbital Strike equally as close really, Demasic slightly closer on the board. But this is where Liquid really need to show up. After letting that second round slip away, I think they need to break back soon, or this half could easily slip away from them completely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we need to see something for them early. That was close.
Oh, he's screwed.
He's down to 10 health. One bullet from Solkas. A straight shot and he's gone. Finally to be dropped. Finesse
Crashes mau nyebrang nggak bisa.
They'll accept it as an early disadvantage. This makes it so much more difficult, Tom, with Finesse all by his lonesome on B. The thing is, they still have that trap inside of Hookah. And until that gets destroyed, they're going to keep a much heavier presence around here, though. That
pulang, guys.
Any sort of off-peak.
Nggak dibilang persekannya OpTic India anjir itu.
Victor dapat aja tuh.
Xtreem has been able to trade it back. Molotov at least going to slow down the plant and potentially give a chance to Diablo, but he's not going to get anything. He goes down, but Bond on the swing. It's now left on to Finesse. 1v2, he knows one's plant. He's going to try to
tahan dulu.
Spotted. Team is sick, the first is free! Just about finds him. And Liquid have their 7th.
Aduh, Finesse, kenapa kamu goyang tadi kayak gemeter gitu?
They found the victory and look what they've got to work with coming into this. Finally pushing OpTic down to low credits. A showstopper and an orbital strike. Yuppie one away from the res as well. OpTic are close to a couple of layers, but it's 2 away at a minimum. That's going to be a little harder to connect off the bat on the defensive side.
Low budget.
Crowd behind Team Liquid's comeback, but still a long road ahead of them.
Lah gak salah dong, low budget kan. Emang cuma weak doang sama bandage di hidung anjing.
Iya sih.
Gue gak bilang jelek loh, gue udah bilang anjing low budget. Gitu loh. Gue gak bilang jelek.
Iya Fit.
Gue cuma bilang anjir nih low budget.
Gue juga gak bilang itu. Lu menjelek.
You also have the switch to the bait, which is Victor in that corner with a stick.
This really is just something that OpTic
juga usaha bang.
Normally it would be Finesse that's in those spots. Of course, on this map it makes a lot more sense.
Emperan beli bang di depan
shownya.
Emperan.
Exit lawan apa?
Fnatic.
Oh ya, lawan Fnatic.
Ready on the side of OpTic. All these ultimates coming their way though. Surely
Finesse.
down. And a few the frag out from Nevera buys the time, but they need the follow. Marv is denying it all. Yay in the smoke.
Ye, takut banget Ye. Aduh Ye, kenapa lu kayak gitu Ye, anjing.
The spike is not theirs. The nade, they haven't seen it coming. It'll do damage, but not enough to grab a kill. 1 HP on Solkas. He'll scream back up. They need to deal with Victor. 12 seconds or so to get in there, grab the spike. They need the kill. They're gonna drop this man. He's still alive. 6 seconds. Solkas needs to run.
Nice.
He'll find something. A clutch for Victor keeps OpTic alive at 10-7. The lead is thriving.
Gue tahan napas bro.
Iya sama bro.
A very shaky round from either side. So many players left blind in the corners, and a lot of it came down to Marv. Just being able to pull 3 kills while all of these ults went on. Even getting one with a Molotov again. I think that's the second time it happened, but it was this kill that sort of turned the round firmly into OpTic's favor, and even then, you still needed Victor.
Itu refleksnya cepet banget itu. Kayak jatuhnya kayak Free Fire sumpah.
Liquid will take themselves a pause, and now Mitch, their economy's in the bin. Even though damage has been done to the other side, even though OpTic are not in the craziest position themselves. What did Liquid do here? Do they even purchase?
Boom ikut turni juga apa kagak? Udah pulang guys. Lagi makan di restorannya South Bay mereka.
Kemarin study tour katanya.
Iya.
Would have looked good in some of these lower buy rounds, some thrifties that have gone their way. Over on the side of OpTic. It's the map they're known for, the side they're known
Kurang
for.
Alfajar bawa ini, Cok, bawa Kamsi
See the
anjir.
issues, you can see the problem. So much was committed to that last round, and the reward just wasn't found.
Yeah, showstopper orbital strike.
Ya, ini mah 2-1,
Two of the most
bro.
powerful ults they have on their side.
Nggak mungkin 2-0 bro, pas ini menang nih OpTic. Cuma di map Ascent ini yang gua nggak tahu.
Scream having a hero rifle, it's always dangerous. The problem is on the other side, you've got ults starting to build up. So even though the economy's low for this round, the chances are Tour de Force in the next juggle rifle over to someone else.
Kecil kan.
You have a pretty strong buy going into round number 19.
That's going to be the Viper's been used up on B long. Containing the control. Not the common spot to see that one going down. The two-man B hold a trap inside of Hookah. It's a very powerful position to play from. They can stack up A, have these crossfires ready. I don't like that the shorty's out.
Hilang nih semok.
Blitzing in. I respect that.
Pecah pala.
But no one's making a move on Team Liquid. A minute left on the clock, and they are spread in a default, just looking for the control.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, you look at the map control that's claimed even just by the trap, you don't really need to be taking too many risks here. Yay, it's a nasty spot. That's all he really needed. One kill off the back of the shorty. Tour de Force will be online for the next round as well when he needs it. Well, he's racking up the kills anyway. They're going to have to heal up onto Scream to at least give a little bit more in terms of that rifle, but with 30 seconds left, eventually they're going to have to just blitz in.
Yeah, Navarra going down. You don't have that Viper's Pit to fall back on anymore. Doubt they're going to be popping a res unless they flawlessly win these. That's a good start for Yumpy. But OpTic have so many more players here. Now the hero rifle steps it up and Ye is gone. The res coming through with another. This round.
Absen, bos.
It was looking clean for OpTic, but Team Liquid have somehow stormed their way back in. That's not the right weapon for that range.
Kagak sadar si Dimas.
He said to go to a Marshall, and now down goes that Viper's Pit after the res. This is unbelievable for Liquid.
Udahlah, bos.
They take hit after hit, and they look like they're out, but this team,
Kecewa gue
they
kalau
can
OpTic kalah di
always
sini.
fight back into it. I am perplexed by what we have just witnessed here. 8 rounds for Team Liquid. OpTic, they were knocking on the door of victory, but now the game is really on. What's this do to their economy as well, man? Look at this, nothing there for them.
No, that's the thing. This was meant to be the economy building round. Thankfully, Finesse will at least be able to get one rifle through into the next and remove everything on the other side. But yeah, this was the eco, and I was saying that if you get the Tour de Force, because they had some weak weapons in this round, they'll be able to juggle up better weapons.
Absen,
Instead,
2,
they're
absen 3.
obliterated. The question is now, do they invest the Tour de Force to try and sneak this round through? Or are Liquid just going to get to within
Save lah guys, OpTic eco. Iya itu efek biru apaan ya?
That is a huge blunder from OpTic.
Jokoprak and their viewers just join, say hello. Hello.
Should never have happened. They have something to work with here at least, with even more ultimates online than when we started the previous. The chances really relying on someone like Ye finding this opening duel.
Oh iya udah mulai agresif nih.
Just look across the map. Everybody is tucked into corners waiting. You know that with this weapon being the pinnacle of the round, he will go looking for victims. He will go looking for kills. Whether he finds them or not is yet to be seen. He'll get one for free. The
Gila, berani banget anjim. Berani banget Ye.
That's a duel for OpTic, and they are happy to.
Gila, bener-bener definisi cowok nih anjing Ye.
Throw in some util. Slow him down.
Joko pindah HP, Jok.
Nah, pindah HP. They're pushing into the rifle. Finesse needs to get something here. It's just been domed. The B site somewhat open for business, but the fact is the rotation's coming through.
Ye. Tiga nih. Absen yuk. TP anjing. Crashes lagi megang burung. Crashes. Oh enggak, Tech 9. Oh, nice banget.
Another kill for OpTic.
Boom.
Anything you can do, we can do better. OpTic
Gitu dong, Ye.
a thrifty round in response to a thrifty round.
Gitu dong.
Well, we heard from Solkas whenever they scrim, it's back and forth. And
Babang Game dari tadi bercanda.
Balance has been restored in the world.
Wow.
But that's the thing, it must be nice. It must be nice having Ye on your team, and I think Scream knows it. Like, that's a round that could have easily put them back into contention for the map. Instead, their economy has been obliterated. Bear in mind, even though they won a thrifty round, no one survived it. They were trying to kill Finesse and remove every single gun. Now, well, look at it.
Thrifty dibalas Thrifty bener.
This is full investment from most of the players.
Wah, ini kalau kalah 12 ini, bro.
Jubet ini maju. Gile.
Dia tahu dua udah masuk tuh.
Itu bukan masalah headset, itu udah game sense itu.
Wah, diculik lu semua lu. Oh, tuh lu lihat tuh game sense tuh, lu lihat game sense tuh.
Lamps to be cleared out
waduh, hoki banget.
and they are just trying to push these guys into fights where they can succeed time again. Solkas the last man versus 4, and I think we're looking at OpTic
Miskin
on
bro.
12.
Gak percuma mereka Iko pun gak guna. Maksudnya saving pun gak guna lagi Iko. Mendingan lu coba rusak ekonomi.
Like if he pulls this off, then I think we just give him the
map.
Not even like the last few rounds. You just go, you know what, Solcast, 1v4.
Nivera tetap gak bisa buy soalnya itu.
But yeah, I think he's gonna get the plant, but that will really be all she wrote.
Nivera duitnya 50 cuma nambah 2.500 kan? So
is right now for Liquid. The plant actually might help them out a little bit. Their finances are screwed for the next round. Any kills he can get
dia nggak nge-kill, cuma nambah 2.500.
Wah, nice shot on the first. But eventually the trade comes through for Mark. As said, he has had a real resurgence in this map comparatively to what we saw on the last, which is, it sets this series up wonderfully, but OpTic have to bear in mind,
kita lihat berapa duit Nivera.
Dia nggak nge-kill.
4 more rounds though. They only need to pick up 1, and with performances like this coming out from players like Marv, it's hard to believe they don't find at least that single round. They don't just push it over the line just about. Now, whether they get it here or not, look, Liquid have got a bunch to work with.
Iya, dan cuma nambah 2.500 bener.
Almost a showstopper.
1.400.
It's conceivable that they come out with a round, maybe 2. But this is OpTic's map and it's OpTic's side. For them to end up on an overtime, I think
17-15.
they really would be mentally boomed then.
Wah, di-push anjing sama Victor. Wah, udah GG. Udah GG. Udah GG.
A wonderful start and a surprise.
Next map.
Not a particularly good one.
Ayo, ye. Kasih lihat flick lu, ye.
He's going to get the information off the back of his trap.
Mantap.
To close down another 2v5.
Almost served as a bait, but it's just that little bit too.
Mati.
Good shot for Nivera, but look how much more is against him.
Nggak kepala soalnya, nggak kepala.
Kill with the op, maybe. They have to deal with this flank as well, of Marv coming up behind, currently watching.
Waduh,
Don't pat.
On a tear this
Opin lawan ini, ayo dong.
Wah, nggak bisa udah GG.
I think we can call it here and now. The defuse is underway, and Nivera has no chance of denying it. He's got to sprint at them, and it's already done. 13-8. OpTic's map choice, a map that they're one of the best in the world at, predictably goes their way, and we will be closing this on a well-deserved map 3.
Yeah, I think it's exactly where we wanted to end up, an ascent map.
Udah gue bilang, OpTic pasti menang.
Likely to feel pretty comfortable to close it out. A different idea in terms of their compositions, which will definitely make it a fun finish. But I don't think anybody's particularly surprised.
Mereka pasti nggak expect.
In the direction of OpTic, they are sublime when it comes to this map, and honestly, I'm glad
bahkan coachnya aja udah tahu itu. Aduh.
The fact that we
Jampi dibain kayak gini nih. Udah di-forcein sama coach dari tim sendiri.
That is just decimating everybody in the early round scenarios. And even though there were some blips, even though there were some mistakes, they came back into it almost instantly.
They absolutely did. For OpTic, there were some good clutches in here as well to really get them pumped up coming into the next.
Gue setiap kali ngeliat Xtreem kayak gitu ya, gue ngeri banget dia tiba-tiba banting meja tau. Tangannya tuh udah kayak anjing, sini lu.
We heard it starting it out. It's a good map for Team Liquid. After that performance, coming in close to neck and neck, Tom. I want a long map. I want an OT out of the neck.
Ascent gue nggak tahu sih siapa yang strong.
I want to get a little bit more of the Phoenix. I want to get some more exciting comps coming through. And you know what? I want to see a little bit more of the desk before we do that. So let's throw this one off to the break and listen to the nerds sat just behind us.
Oke, BRB tipis.
Lawan klasik gaming lo padahal lo. Gue mau lihat tarik yang nonton bro. Anjing 110 cok.
You can do, I can do better, and it turns out what they can do better is bind because they walk away with that map 2 victory, and we're going to game 3. This honestly feels like the only way that this could end, Seth.
I mean, you've got the classic clash of NA versus EMEA. Now you've got these teams going up against each other. The bind gets the win for OpTic. All the way to 3 maps. Finally, we get a 3-mapper, even though yesterday it felt like we certainly did. We did not. It was double 2 zeros.
Yep.
But finally, we have a full
series. It's funny
series.
because you told me that. You were like, oh, we're getting our first 3-mapper. I was like, oh, we
Sambil
did it.
nulis bang,
We had 3
oke.
maps yesterday.
1917, baby. Woo!
Turns out I was there
Aman.
watching VALORANT until the
Episode
Aku
4
juga
udah
sambil
rilis,
nulis.
tahu udah dari
An
jam 9 tadi.
exquisite game across the
Tadinya
board.
gue pikir kalau ini 2-0 gue mau
Kan lagi
nonton.
gawe.
When you think about how this started
bisa.
and then how it
Besok aja gue
potentially
nonton,
could
guys.
have
Besok pagi gue
ended for
tonton.
OpTic. It's good to see them
Kemarin
bounce
siapa yang
back,
menang?
but Liquid
Jo.
did not make it easy.
Jo.
No, they did not. In fact, they even started off
Derek.
on the right foot on the
Derek 2-0, terus
2-0.
went the way of Liquid, but OpTic
siapa lagi yang main tanding ya?
the Thrifty
Oh ya,
Laut
Laut
sama
2-0.
but he ended up winning with a Thrifty.
Ah, yang Korea menang.
Menang. Bocil Dajjal itu.
Ngeri cok, si Stex berjaya bersinar. Yang paling kecil dari semua, yang paling pendek pokoknya lu lihat tuh.
Tapi si Bas yang tim MVP kan?
Enggak, Stex.
Hah? Gue lihat di VL dari GG. Sini.
I mean, in the first few rounds, he was 5-0
Next
and
map
2,
MVP-nya.
which is absolutely coming up clutch with multiple picks for his squad. And Crashy's, honestly, I've been
MVP
so damn
Stex.
impressed by him this entire event through.
Derek
Even when
effect.
they were struggling on Breeze, when they were going up against
Map
Moon,
Ascend.
whatnot, Crashy's was the guy who was finding clutches, trying to drag them across the finish line. And then
Ascend,
here on Bind,
Breeze.
he had one hell of a
Yang
game.
di Ascend yang MVP si
Bas.
Bas. Iya.
Ya, abis itu
Map pertama. Yang di
Iya,
Breeze
map
si
duanya.
Stack. Iya.
si Stex.
Maksud gue mereka bersinarnya gantian.
Tapi yang stabil mainnya si Mako. Dia nggak MVP tapi stabil mainnya.
15 Leo, gila mereka dibantai anjing di Breeze. Gak ngeri banget di Breeze 13-5.
Korea bos.
Yeah, it's been beautiful to watch.
Nggak, tapi nggak ada yang nyangka
Really on both
mereka
sides of the
se-strong
board
itu, Ton.
right? You know, Liquid,
Iya.
I think, really finding
Kita tahu,
themselves
orang
in
tahu
this
Derek,
series, but
lu
also
nggak bisa remehin. Cuma
facing
kemarin
adversity
mereka
here. One player
anjing
that we highlighted as well was Marv.
ngeri
You know,
banget.
just wanted to kind of touch on him real
Bocil-bocil
fast.
orang tua
Ended
loh.
up that game
FPX tuh juara
2014,
Valorant Master loh.
quite a bit, for the squad,
Sebelum
and you
ini.
can tell, like, when he's feeling confident, the rest of OpTic kind of just like rally behind him because you
Kalau
know
di
EA is
game
always
kan
going to be
makin
good for 1 or 2
tua.
kills there, Seth.
Umur jam terbangnya makin banyak, makin ngeri anjir.
He was just going crazy.
Refleksnya ya turun gitu.
Iya, cuman jam apa game sense lebih ngeri tak.
Oh, kalau game sense sih ya. Tapi refleks juga harus.
Now they're fully focused in. Everybody on the side of OpTic is stepping up. Yes,
Si Ardis anjing banget cok, 3 versus
round stretch that they had in the first half.
1 versus 3
a cause for
apa
concern. I
versus 4
started
gitu.
thinking like,
Di
oh,
clutch
it's just
sama
going to
dia.
be a 2-0. TL are actually going to be able to win this, but no. OpTic, they swap sides. They just managed to execute it beautifully.
Yeah, well,
yang pas
there's been a lot
overtime
of
itu ya.
talk online about what's going on in this
Kan ada
series.
gua bego.
Obviously, everyone is just so kind.
Kan gua yang
in
tidur.
discourse with
maaf, Kak.
EU, EMEA conversation.
Gua
Let's
lupa.
actually get
Gak apa-apa,
another
gua
segment
maafin kok.
of bird watching.
Aduh, ini lagi. Cloud watching.
I'm just glad they got my dome on the graphic there.
EUNA, 1 USD, more than 1 euro.
The economy.
Bro, just put it from Twitch chat.
Oh, man.
I mean, I think this is quite funny, but listen,
Listen, the USD strong right now.
Yeah, I get paid in USD, fam. Trust me, I'm living. I'm living. Trust, I'm living.
Oh man, you gotta love it. But Seth, this rivalry is always there, but we go back into it again, and
No armor.
Well, it didn't really hurt Marv too much. Maybe in that round in particular.
Niat banget loh orang-orang loh.
I saw it and I thought it was like something up with the UI, but no, he had no armor.
There's a couple of overheat moments.
It happens to the best of us.
It does, yeah. Listen.
What was that one game where someone forgot to buy a gun and we just
Well,
had
Fnatic
to
forgot
No
by
armor,
full
but
armor a lot of times.
Well, that's happened, but I mean, we had Xtreem forget to die to the spike earlier. He's just pulling a scary from Xerxia.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm just gonna go to the attacker spawn and chill with 3 HP and a sheriff.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was a weird play. I would say. Let's put
Gue demen banget sama tone-nya setnya Valorant Champion ini. Kayak enak gitu loh, nggak pedih di mata, dia kayak dark mode.
Dark mode.
Ini kan hitam semua gitu loh, jadi enak di mata.
Hitam merah.
Terus sorot, lampu sorotnya tuh nggak putih, kayak agak kuning gitu loh. Putih, ada kayak gabungan putih kuning lah, jadi nggak perih gitu di mata.
Sure.
Is that the confidence?
Dude, I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm still not even sold on the Phoenix on this map as well for Team Liquid. I don't really know what that's going to be looking like. But one of the dangerous things that Liquid are going to be dealing with now is the fact that hasn't just woken up. The guy has kind of been awake, I think, for most of the series. But on Bind in particular, he was 8-0 when it comes to first kills to first deaths. He was leading the charge for his team with a lot of those big kills. And if he carries that forwards as well, and you're dealing with OpTic that are looking, rejuvenated, I suppose, to come off the back of the Breeze win, they seem unfazed by these guys who've got the experience.
Di Valorant belum ada back-to-back champion ya. Ganti-ganti terus. Sentinel langsung hilang.
Kan baru berapa tahun, Bang?
Iya, baru 2 tahun bahkan, bukan berapa tahun. Baru tahun kedua.
Oke.
Gimana ada back-to-back kalau ada tahun kedua, Bang?
Maksudnya masternya Ton, kan master kan bisa back-to-back tahun kedua udah.
Oh.
Master kemarin kan Sentinel hilang.
Manis mereka.
Bobo, mereka hibernasi. Itu kalau main Valo pakai color filter enggak? Gua nggak ngerti itu buat apaan tujuannya. Tim Asia tinggal di Arex. Iya, perwakilan Asia tinggal di Arex dong. Anjay, yay. Abang yay.
Time like with short notice, but they did that on Breeze at the beginning of this series. They changed their compositions. It didn't go as well. It was clearly.
Kenapa sih si Crashes tuh kayak terkesan kayak ada utang keluarga yang mesti di lunasin gitu loh mukanya.
I think that if he comes at the gate, if he locks in that jet as soon as it pops up on the jumbotron in the arena, I think the fans are going to start cheering a little bit more for OpTic.
Jambi tuh kayak yang main ini loh, Stranger Things.
Oh, yang Dustin.
Iya.
Cuma gak tonggos aja.
I don't care about your Phoenix.
I
don't care about Chamber anymore. I'm just gonna play Jet.
Yeah. I think early on in
Mirip ini, Cok, temannya Harry Potter anjir.
Siapa Draco Malfoy?
The team play was just off. I mean, you could just see that. It was like Victor was going in, the kills weren't really being followed through as well. A lot of the space that Victor was gaining. But as the series has progressed, as we've gone into the comfort picks
Dijual.
of the map for OpTic, they've started to get back into their comfort zone. And I think, we saw it as well from the players' mouths themselves.
Lu dukung siapa? Gue dukungnya OpTic sih. Cuma tim Liquid ini performance mereka juga bagus banget. Kalau OpTic ya stabil. Kalau OpTic nih, Yay, mereka tuh bergantung sama Yay sebenarnya.
aside from the boom, and it was too loud.
Yei turu buyar anjir.
Iya, Yei turu mereka buyar. Nah, kalau di tim Liquid pegangannya ada dua soalnya kan. Jampi sama Xtreem.
And realistically, it's just only been Breeze that has caused troubles for them. There's 0-3 on
OpTic mesti ngerekrut orang yang ini sih, yang gigi lagi sih selain Yei sih. Ini si Solcast juga ini bersinar banget nih Solcast nih anjing.
Ngeri nih dia nih.
Enak banget lu ngunyah mulu lu Solcast lu. Tuh pasti udah tawar tuh permen karet tuh.
Tempelnya di bawah meja anjir.
Aduh. Sekolah SMK anjing.
Just sitting in my hotel room.
Oh man, well listen guys, we are about to jump into this game. The players.
Tuh Red Bull 4 gelas bener-bener Red Bull apa isinya air ya? Kalau 4 gelas Red Bull sih mereka sih kejang-kejang deh.
Pasti ada kopi, ada air, ada Red Bull.
Makan guys.
Ada teh manis. Makan. Yei chamber, udah nggak usah banyak ngoceh lu Yei chamber tuh kan. Chamber sampai mati. Jampi juga chamber, gak sampai ngoceh lu Jampi. Nah kan, chamber udah di ascend mah udah pasti.
Oh, Xtreem Phoenix lagi bro.
Berarti kayak nggak ada hero lain gitu ya.
Sama kayak Yei nggak pernah pick selain chamber. Jampi masih pick Sage deh tadi.
Ntar kalau ada band pick tuh baru suruh tuh.
Emang ada band pick?
Kalau udah banyak masih ada band pick.
Gak bakal cok.
Karena masih dikit aja ini.
Bisa.
Gak bakal ada band pick tapi.
Bisa. Kalau masing-masing.
Asis tuh dulu tuh pas dikit nggak ada band pick, cuma pas itu.
Iya, kayak kalau ada 10 agent lagi band pick pasti.
Yeah, it really is, but I mean,
Itu pasti jadi kayak ada penggantinya gitu loh.
Kayak Dota, band pick.
4 tahun lagi lah. 4 tahun lagi band pick lah. Kalau masih ada nih Valorant nih.
Band 3, pick 5.
Jadi mupa anjir.
Masalahnya semua game yang ada roll pasti band pick ujung-ujungnya. Itu buat meta juga jatuhnya. Buat biar turnamen tuh metanya nggak sama terus gitu tiap tahun.
Pasti ada.
Itu buat ekosistem jatuhnya. Yakin gue. Game yang ada role pasti akan ada band pick. Cuma masih lama, Valorant masih lama lah. Nggak mungkin tahun depan nggak mungkin.
5 heroan lagi lah.
Enggak sih. 5 hero lagi juga belum.
Sekarang udah berapa? Udah lumayan banyak kan?
Setiap role ada 8 agent deh. Enggak deh, 6 agent. Tiap role ada 6 agent aja band pick. Jadi kan ada berapa tuh? Initiator, Sentinel, Duelist, Controller. Satu lagi apa ya?
Smoker.
Enggak, Controller, Smoker. Udah ya, cuma 4 ya?
Iya.
Oh, berarti masing-masing agent 6 ya?
Inisiator.
Udah, Controller, Initiator, Duelist, sama Sentinel.
Pokoknya yang di antara ini harus minimal berapa sih? 2 kan ya?
6 lah minimal masing-masing.
Enggak, dalam 5 pick ini minimal paling banyak tuh berapa? Misalnya controller 2 kan biasanya?
2, ya.
Berarti harus ada 5.
Biasa tuh gini, masing-masing ngambil 1 gitu biasanya. Kalau masih dikit.
Enggak dong. Kalau misalnya kebanyakan misalnya kayak controller gitu, misalnya ada 2 gitu. Berarti kan kalau di band sampai 3 berarti minimal ada 5 hero. Kan misalnya dia nge-ban controller, 3-3-nya controller kan yang di ban, berarti paling nggak harus ada 2. Berarti setiap role minimal ada 5.
Wah, keculik lu Solcast. Kebaca tuh, habis si Smoke mau nge-push. Oh, apakah dapat? Dijagain entry-nya. Waduh. Wah.
Kena flash.
Dapat. Nge-whiff. Waduh. Oh iya. Yampi mati sih. Ya kan Yampi mati kan. Mati.
But the round is OpTic, and that's all that matters. Another pistol under the North American.
Nggak, soalnya kenapa gue yakin banget ada band pick dari si Valorant. Valorant ini ngerilis agentnya itu sesuai dengan ngisi slot yang kosong. Jadi sengaja dibalancein terus gitu loh. Dia rilis agentnya urutan terus. Makanya gue yakin banget ada band pick. Nih terakhir agent yang rilis apa?
Oh, dia kalau habis controller smoker.
Iya, ini inisiator. Habis inisiator duelis. Urutan gitu. Dia nggak pernah double, nggak pernah. Jadi dikalkulasi sama dia.
Ya minimal setiap itu 5 lah, 5-6 baru ada band pick.
Jadi bener, lebih tertantang juga player tuh nggak kayak gini nih, misalnya Phoenix terus gitu loh. Jadi otomatis meta gameplay tim tuh berubah gitu loh. Lo nggak bisa satu orang cuma nguasain satu jenis agent doang, itu nggak bisa. Jadi strateginya itu nggak cuma band pick map, band pick agent juga.
Ini kalau respect si Ben Ye,
Buset Ye di ban anjing, kasihan
Ben Chamber. Salah gue.
Itu bukan respect sih, lebih ke mau ngejatuhin karir orang ya kalau kayak gitu ya.
Di ban anjing.
Di ban lo orang.
Lagi turnamen di ban anjing.
Nah, agent terakhir Fate. Fate kan inisiator. Berarti setelah ini urutannya bentar. Urutannya yang pertama sebelum Fate Chamber kan?
Chamber apa?
Chamber Sentinel. Sebelum Chamber Neon. Neon Duelist. Sebelum Neon Astra. Iya, berarti balik ke controller. Astra soalnya yang paling pertama rilis. Wah, hilang Xtreem.
Ini controller habis ini apa agentnya namanya Jaka Tingkir.
Gue pikir ini Anton kan rokok kan smoker.
Udah nggak smoking bang.
Siap.
Atau udah lama berhenti, Vin.
Siap.
Berapa? 2 hari?
Enggak, dia udah 2 minggu ini. Udah 2 minggu dia sekarang.
3.
Ini minggu ketiga ya?
Iya.
Gimana tak badan rasanya gimana tak?
Udah mulai.
Paru gua gede bang.
Masih ngisepin permen nggak?
Hah?
Masih ngisepin permen nggak?
Udah jarang.
Anjay. Neo Anton Yumi nih anjay.
Itu minggu pertama pasti kayak orang gila tuh anjing
rasanya. Kejang-kejang dia minggu pertama. Wow.
The trade is as good as you could wish for in a round where OpTic came in mostly without Vandals.
Nggak, tapi Ascent itu juga sama guys, map defense. Map defense. Map defense Ascent. Kita lihat ya.
Enggak Vin, Ascent tuh kalau lu bisa kontrol midnya enak banget lu masuk ke side.
The crossfire on the other side is going to make this a tough
move
to try and get back in. In fact, they might just even want to try and hold them out. The fight's awkward. Navira will get one, but he's desperately low. Has to just look to fade away here and save the gun into the next round. And again, OpTic are going to get off to a flyer of a start.
Really a fantastic round plan. I enjoy that Crashies buys the rifle, but
agent rilis itu tiap new egg guys, tiap new egg. Agent rilis itu tiap new egg. Sekarang kan udah ada egg berapa nih sekarang? Egg 4 sekarang. Apa egg 5?
Completely countering out any sort of utility from Team Liquid, bringing it to close-range fights where the numbers are in your favor. OpTic couldn't have set themselves up any better, and they just got those dominoes and gave
Jadi
them a
pro
little
player
tip
nggak
now,
gampang
3-0.
anjir, dia harus ngitung
Team Liquid are forced to an
detik
eco.
cooldownnya, detik
Yeah,
bomnya,
still gonna have the
anjing
rifle
anjing.
saved, at least.
Taruhan bang, bakal ada meta Odin apa enggak?
Control being taken, farming up the orbs back.
Biasanya sih Ascent pasti ada.
Already though, quite a bit of
Tapi yang pakai itu yang defend. Nah, cuma tim Liquid mungkin nanti lah, belum ada duit, belum ada duit.
those opening duel numbers just seem to be increasing by the second. Now the response is going to be a tough one. I believe Xtreem, yeah, he's at least managed to retrieve the rifle.
Nah itu kan,
So that's
midnya
something,
dikontrol kan
that's some
sama
element
si
of
Ye.
hope. But again, we saw this in the last map.
Karena otomatis
Seems to take
2 di
something to
A,
get
2 di
Liquid
B,
back on track.
satunya pasti jaga
Mid.
itu mid.
Oh sekarang episode 5 Act 2. Ya gua nggak tahu deh, pokoknya yang lamanya deh, bukan gua nggak tahu episode apa Act.
Fell back and held for the aggression on B main.
Tiap episode berarti. Tiap episode rilis agent baru.
Getting those advantages. Now all that's left is to close out the round. The information game is strong. They've spotted both players. They know where the rifle is. They're gonna fall back to
Nah, Ye masuk tuh, mid control nih.
use of the space being garnered by Ye.
Dapat nih mid nih.
Who've pushed up on B main and
Nah,
mid.
tuh.
Tuh kan, denger step dia. Scream ditungguin, mati. Oh, mati lagi nih Soulcast nih.
And he's not going to overdo it either.
Soulcast mati.
Itu guys, di map ini pentingnya kontrol mid itu.
1% chance. 10 seconds if he can drop the planter. The timing is
Kemarin.
right. 6 seconds.
Mati. Wah.
He's dealt with.
Wah.
A Prime Gaming flawless in the end, but I can see your worry.
Sayang banget.
If they plant anywhere else, if Ye doesn't come through from the
Nggak
flank,
kepala
in the last
sih,
second, maybe,
frenzy-nya.
just maybe, there's a chance that
Jumpy
he
pakai
actually drops the
op,
spike,
op.
but in the end, fairly controlled for OpTic. You're gonna
Apakah
have
jadi
the
Jumpy
Force
spot?
almost online on the other side, and
Apakah
this is where
jadi
Liquid really need to make their
Ye
stand.
Gaming?
This start from OpTic has been sublime. They've been controlled all the way through. They've been pushing and
Gila,
pulling Liquid.
enak
The
banget
balance,
tuh.
this
Gitu.
composition from the Liquid side.
Empat-empatnya pala, bos.
Around the level of aggression.
7-0 anjir.
Itu kalau 5 jadi tong dong dong deng. Itu deh.
Tong dong dong deng 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 deng.
They're going to have a lot of chances to adapt.
This isn't a case where you win a single round and get to even up the odds. Team Liquid are behind and the
Itu pengen nonton
recovery,
Big Mouth.
the recovery.
Tapi temen gue belum pulang lagi, lama banget nih.
Siapa?
Out of this defensive side in a game that thus far they
Temen lu siapa?
countered out of from the
Temen
get-go.
gua.
OpTic had
Kenal lu mana?
Oh, temen lu, maksudnya temen lu di rumah lu?
for a few reasons. Number
Enggak, di Discord.
confidence of this guy being able
Nobar,
to
gua bisa
go
deketin
out,
nobar.
take that mid control, and now
Oh, lu
put that
nungguin
in the
dia
back of the
nobarnya.
line. You leave that map
Iya, kalau nggak tadi
control unchecked for a
ngomel,
moment, and Ye
tinggalin.
could be making that
Oh,
play.
gue tahu, cewek ya.
tahu gua, iya.
Ah, gue tahu yang mana.
Yang waktu itu
Yang di vote di story. Ah,
Gua tahu yang mana tuh.
saja. Mas Joko.
nyaut anjing.
Both in the market, 7-0, is it?
Defend dulu gue, thank you guys ya. Terima kasih sudah nonton rekomendasi subrek.
Bisa
Sampai jumpa lagi di
aja.
next stream.
Yang ngucapin ulang tahun kan, ah saja.
Oh, bukan.
Bukan, gua tahu yang mana.
Ah, saja Joko.
Iya gak Jok?
Ada yang sering
Diam
nemenin dia
kamu.
di Discord.
Diam kamu Anton.
There it is.
Udah dikasih tahu di DM.
He's gone for a risky peek with the man advantage as well.
Oh anjing.
That's a costly loss.
Aku ada
They at
ide ya,
least
Bang.
traded back, but
Ngapain?
Dah. Males banget deh.
alone. Luckily, Yumpy's cleaning up those mid fights, and as Victor emerges, there's
Gila,
two players ready to
Victor
fight.
marah, bos.
They dropped Demasic. They've got themselves into a safe corner, and they'll slip underneath the door, even throwing some utility to completely bait them. They might think maybe one guy can be here, but two, it's never going to be expected. The numbers now
Oh, mereka rotate. Was.
finesse. They almost
untung
got
nggak piercing loh.
Victor on 50.
Untung nggak
He's got
piercing
the
anjir.
1v1. The man he's up against is Xtreem. And he's getting the orb. Xtreem will get it just in
Wah,
time.
1v1
Now
nih.
he's got his ultimate to play with. Thing is, that's been
Oh,
called
itu
by
kok
the
diputerin ke Alex.
Iya, mati itu pusing itu Scream.
Sure isn't in B main.
Oh, diputerinnya lewat belakang.
Knowing there's a high chance that Xtreem is going to be able to play
Nah,
with
pasti
that
yang
ult,
dijaga
give him a
midnya.
chance to
Pasti.
Karena
take
di
him
map
out
ini
for free.
penting banget kontrol
All
mid.
the way back in towards the market. A
Ulti
smart
dong Scream.
position to hold
Sayang
from.
banget tuh ulti.
Ketahuan tapi kalau ulti kan? Ketahuan suaranya.
A free kill
Iya.
Oh, ketahuan.
Halo.
Ketahuan.
This could actually be very dangerous.
Ketahuan.
If Xtreem doesn't find him, he could just go back.
Udah
He's gonna
ketahuan.
wait for him. This is brilliant from Victor.
Ketahuan.
He's waiting to get that final kill.
Ketahuan.
Xtreem has made the realization.
Ketahuan. Pisau. Gue jadi dia juga gue pisau, orang udah ketahuan. Iya.
Penontonnya teriak anjing, Xtreemnya jadi tahu.
From that 2VX, the duels chipping away, the door closed, the utility up top, the sneak through, and even that up shot 99 and connected onto Victor. With the body and the position of the shot, so he could clutch it out at the end. That is one of the best plays that we're going to see.
Mental
nih bos.
Gue padahal pengen lihat reaksinya Xtreem kan dia.
Pasti ketawa. Gue yakin pasti ketawa sih Xtreem. Wah ya, Yampi. Fred sama Yai.
Ini Vera.
That was the main threat they had in this round.
Dengan sheriff sukan Devin.
Pasti komennya no respect anjing.
Gak bang, emang itu nasib Phoenix kalau ulti bang. Itu udah takdir Phoenix anjing.
Yay, ngintip ke arah bilong.
Salah sih sebenarnya si Xtreem ulti itu salah itu.
Namanya apa sih, itu bukan bilong ya? Apa sih namanya ini?
Iya, timingnya masuk.
Oh! These players are sneaking their way in. He'll get one for free. Damage done. And here could be the reward. The follow through. The Ares not landing the shots. Still some damage done.
Wah, iya dapat menang lawan Ares anjir. Wah, keculik Xtreem. Gara-gara fokus ke B-main.
Ngindip.
Bunuh nih. Wah, yay gaming ini mah bro.
Man bro. Belakang deh.
Wah, kalau kalah nih Vera. Wah iya. Bau.
Wah lu.
Wah.
Sure, they commit an ult towards the end of it, but I'm not too worried about that. This is a 6-0 scoreline, and Tom.
Saatnya time out gak sih? Enggak ya?
Unless I'm wrong, I think the crowd might be starting to get behind OpTic a little bit, and it's hard not to with this scoreline.
The crowd is a fickle beast. If you watch
got a crowd of GBs out there.
Kaskas Devin.
Lo lihat EA berapa skornya?
A lot of Fnatic fans.
1 bos.
NFPX started.
Adanya.
Fnatic fans started to disappear.
6 anjing.
People took off their
10 tuh bagus angkanya.
Sat there and playing T-shirts.
Oh, keluar nih ntar malam nih.
I think Meg had a few of the crowd switching as well on her own.
Did they just try to seize hot hands and then just miss the hot hands? Is it a little shallow? Not on the same spot either way. I mean, OpTic are, they're not committing to this.
Game sense.
Yay. Oh.
Dapat nih. Pasti Dimas nggak sabaran. Tuh kan Dimas nggak sabaran kan.
Baca sama orang Korea dia.
Flash. Mati loh.
Wah,
trading.
Will bail out of that, concede the control, and from this point, OpTic
mid control, crash, masuk crash.
At least that's what Liquid are thinking. But they
belum dapat itu.
Iya belum. Nah, kalau si crash masuk bisa. Wah, iya. Kalau udah klik kanan ngeri gue. Jangan klik kanan ya, anjing. Takut gua. Terus semua senjata kalau klik kanan jadi operator.
Cek poinnya.
Itu udah kayak pakai itu sih.
Oh, kena, kedetek.
Udah kayak pakai apa sih namanya? React nggak?
Gigan.
Enggak kan, Gigan 923 kalau di game sebelah. Sama AUG tuh. Yang mainnya di kakak terus.
Oh iya. Wah.
7-0 now confirmed the screen
7-0 adik-adik, 7-0.
They had the trade player there to take him down. Crashies was able to swing.
Sorry nih, Solkes. 0-7-0 nih, Solkes.
This is a game that just seems so
difficult for Team
Liquid to find.
Solkes nyentuh pun enggak tuh, gue liat-liat ke damage itu.
They are put into these desperate scenarios. Mistakes are being forced by OpTic. And that's it. I don't think Liquid are making mistakes as much as OpTic are forcing them into them.
Solkes 070 anjing tadi bersinar lu Solkes.
Pakai apa deh Omen ya?
Fade.
And Dima swings gets the info. It's the re-swing.
It's the recurring utility. That's what makes this triple initiator comp so powerful. It's just the fact that you're able to basically force your opponents into constantly looking for information while you almost have it for free.
Team Liquid have called a timeout here, Tom. Better late than never. Still a quarter.
Ya capek kan TL lu. TL tim lose.
No money. And I wonder what it's like to enter on a stage where the crowd cheers for you and they give a little clap for the others. You win rounds, you start comebacks, clutches, and they're on your side. But now, 7 rounds in a row, louder and louder the cheers for OpTic are ringing in as the rounds end.
Sakit beneran
Team
tuh.
Liquid.
Solkes nyawanya ke-upload kayak daerah bro.
Buset.
Wah ke-detect. Wah nih Vera ngapain sih udah lagi di bredet. Malah lu saderin anjing. Dimasik apakah kamu akan sik?
It's almost a full rotation, just leaving Yum
Blinding. Anjir dapat dia Victor.
That's not bad for Dimasik. He hasn't had the most success, but
Dia dapat yang di kanan ya.
Dapat yang di kanannya lagi ngedrone.
Pressure from OpTic comes out elsewhere.
Jampi. Aduh angle klik kanan nih. Mid control masuk. Lu bisa dapat 2. Ayo, yeay, ya. Ayo, yeay, Xtreem di kiri lu, yeay. Oh, kedengeran. Aduh, untung dia sabar. Dapat ini. Yeay, masuk nih. Ayo lu, gak sadar kan lu, Yampi lu. Lu mati lu Yampi lu. Mid control emang anjing. Bye Dimasik. Solkas sama Dimasik ya yang tersisa ya. Bottom fragger kita nih.
Satu ngekill 2, satu belum pecah telur.
Mati deh. Gue berharap Solkas ngebunuh 1 lah.
That's the majority.
It's just one. He died once.
That's the majority. It's not all.
Give him a break.
It's not all rounds.
Survived that round with like 3 kills on 8 HP. Like,
Solkas bahkan nggak berani. Oh dia mau saving ya. Equal mereka
I don't think we're getting rid of this guy.
Senjata.
See if they can at least grab an exit. The players waiting in the spawn. You can see Solkas has the angle with the rifle. He wants to save.
Wah, akhirnya.
Wah, nggak jadi. Minus anjing, minus.
Sit back down.
Seenggaknya dia nggak nol.
It's not worth facing. Yeah, you're not getting that kill. You don't want to give him an orb.
Tapi Yei belum mati, Cok.
Just an absolute desolation.
Satu kali mati doang.
North America coming here
Oh
to
my
make a
God.
statement. And that statement is being made.
Gila itu.
Liquid come into this round with a lot
Buat
of
tuh kena
bombs.
pala tuh peluru tuh.
They've got the run it back.
Saya
No command.
aimnya
Nightfall
di
as well.
pala
There's
semua ya.
plenty to
Iya
play.
bro.
Apapun.
Mereka udah tahu positioning crosshair itu
Dari
semuanya.
jauh pas orang keluar udah pasti di pala.
The thing is though at the moment they're up against
Wah, sayang nggak
unstoppable
kena.
force. Seize down early will at least force EA back, but look at them. So many players on that B side, and it seems like an instant response. OpTic have the perfect read here.
Lah?
There is nobody on A, and they're just
Oh,
going to
mau
waltz
nge-retake
in for
mereka.
free.
A perfect pace change from them. Now, with the ultis online, Liquid are obviously content to play the retake. We are already having the Nightmare coming through. The Nightfall, excuse me, is the
Wah,
Nightmare
iya,
attempts to take
nge-whiff.
them, but Xtreem got caught. Trades are good. But for the ulti that was committed, I think they want a bit more. Dealing with the players on site doesn't look too easy either. It's just
strong, anjir.
Mati. Udah flawless. Oh enggak flawless. FNS mati tadi.
9-0. Liquid have no credits left.
Tim Liquid kalau lu 13-0 sih lu malu sih.
How how does this map look so much better for OpTic than
Gua nggak pernah lihat OpTic main di Ascent loh.
We said they didn't have a chance over there, but when it came to Ascent top, they look so much better on this map. Well, not this time.
That's the thing. I almost wonder.
Gua nggak pernah ngeliat mereka pick Ascent, sumpah.
Just don't play OpTic.
Udah 9 anjir.
9?
If you see them coming up on the bracket, you just lose before
tinggal ambil korek doang langsung 9,
Cok. Try and avoid them completely, but
wah, ini 10 ini Iko ini.
A team who've been fantastic.
Apakah 13-0 adik-adik?
Gila, duitnya OpTic udah bisa beli Batagor 2 porsi seorang. Solkes, lu lawannya top ranker lawan bottom ranker nih.
1-10 is their record.
Solkes.
That's the map record as well. And in terms of series, hasn't happened for them.
And now here they stand, already doubling up those numbers, and with a 9-0 lead versus Sheriffs, things are looking fantastic. And the last round was high pace. Okay, that was quick. Forget that round. Think about the rest of the
sabar
game.
banget, bro.
They had such a controlled pace. Like, yes, when they go for pushes, they can be all out aggressive. They can have Victor on
Rasanya mereka udah tahu pasti si Ye ini mid control.
But the reality is,
jadi ditungguin aja lu, tungguin aja dia pasti commit udah.
Methodical, allow you to make a mistake, and when you don't, they're gonna force you to make one.
Tuh, Ye mulai nge-push tuh. Ah kan? Tuh. Wah, anjir.
Out from Liquid as well. Maybe there's a little bit of life left in this team just yet.
3 rounds the best that they can get, but one
duit mereka lu lihat
was
langsung.
looking like we'd see. This play right there, he seized, but he still makes it. He has that little bit of room, and he just needs that small amount of space. 9-1 as Team Liquid find their first round, but OpTic feel destined to answer back any moment now.
We saw the wind get into their sails last time after a slow start to bind, but this has been a different story.
Oke, hati-hati ke bait.
If that can get them going once again. Yumpy though already under pressure, some utility thrown through. And again, we're seeing Soulcast just looking to try and challenge into middle. Has a little bit of support from Screen, but because of the lurk that's been going through so regularly out of Ye, they've had to actually post players up. However, that Prowler is going to tell them there's at least one shot that they didn't go beyond them. And actually, it's still Scream to get the kill. The trade, though, is back.
Tadi tag pas lagi nge-push. Wah, hampir gua pikir dapet lo Xtreem lo.
They do damage to Scream, and now they're stacked up to take a one-way smoke fading as they attempt to swing the corner. Navera beats them. Tripling up in this round, 9-2. Team Liquid might just have a hope if they can push to 3.
Oh yes.
But they need that. They need the pistol. They need more than they've found in the past 30 rounds. This is a tough scenario, but the wind's starting to pick up now. The speed of this comeback yet to be determined.
Nyala nih 2 rounder nih.
I think that's the piece of the puzzle that's been missing.
Ini Vera lagi nyala nih, 88.
Couple of rounds, two before that entirely.
FNS lagi AFK anjing.
Still though, a chance for OpTic to close this out.
Wah, ke-detect.
Still having the weaponry.
Sama-sama ke-detect.
Online as well. Okay, the null command has been built up for Navera, but again, they look to just pressure into this B site quickly as they have done before. Sick left blind in the corner, and this time Navera is almost dead within the first couple of seconds. But they have at least managed to force OpTic back.
Oh, all the way back, in fact. Look, they're wrapping completely.
Bahkan
We saw Solkes and Scream flash into the smoke. A reveal up and over. Control for them, guaranteed, and they found Finesse on the back of that. This time he survived into a late round.
Selalu main menculik.
And look for info on A. But Team Liquid, they're reading this. They're sensing. Ain't been enough noise outside of B. They haven't seen anything there. Just managed to catch FNS.
Kena nih Solkes nih.
They maintain just the 3 players.
Kena nih Solkes nih.
Still a flash to play with for Scream, and Solkes needed that fight. They'll hold on to control, and he'll go down. Victor with a phenomenal trade, but they're not going to A. They're faking it out. 3 players there. It means only OpTic to hold, and Ye is seeking him out. 9 for OpTic.
Udah loh, midnya dijagain loh. Midnya dijagain loh sama Victor loh.
Surely not
Mati nih.
expected. They're actually they clear it.
And the spike is only just making its way towards the site.
Iya, udah
Now
mantekin.
activated. Yompy gonna get caught. They know that he's coming from behind.
Aduh.
Burning. 2 HP.
Anjim.
Almost goes down. And now looking to try and pressure through
kelihatan
Xtreem.
nama
He
Xtreem.
knows that this
Udah nggak
spot is
bisa
being
flash.
homed in on.
Xtreem udah nggak bisa
Not wanting
flash.
to give Ye that peek, and he won't connect the shot this time. They have been able to garner some space, but do they even know Martha's here? He's lurking within the smoke. If he gets the timing right, he might be able to win them the round. He might not
Dapat
even
nih
be
Xtreem nih.
needed at all, though. The timing's
Nice
correct.
banget,
And Ye's gonna be the one alongside the closing.
Ye nice
We've heard of a
banget
9-3
anjing.
curse. We've heard of OpTic's curse versus EMEA. Is there going to be a 10-2 curse?
19-3
a turnaround for Liquid.
In a game where Ye comes out of it 19-3 in the first half, it is hard to argue against the Great Wall sweeping over EMEA. NA looking fantastic. Is there any hope from the analyst desk?
TL udah habis. TL ini time out-nya.
Maybe sometimes you just gotta let a chef cook. You know what I'm saying? And Ye's out there cooking.
He is cooking.
He is cooking. He's making a filet mignon. All right, and it's flavored with Team Liquid's tears. This has just been rough for Liquid, Brent. Look, I'm just calling it what it is. That was just nuts. You couldn't have asked for a better play here, even at this one as well.
Itu kalau penonton gak teriak juga.
They thought they had the reads. Oh yeah, but here's Victor.
Yeah, I mean this play was just iconic, wasn't it? Just a complete
Tapi lebih lucu lagi kalau tadi dia miss pisaunya.
Oh, darah penuh mati nggak sih?
Mati.
Kalau kepala mati.
Backstep pasti mati.
400
Gila. 406. Dia asisnya 0 loh, Jo. Lu lihat asisnya 0, Jo.
Jadi semua kill ya.
Semuanya dia confirm kill, nggak ada yang asis.
Yeah, it's time to stop. It's time to stop the discourse around who is the best player in the world.
Ini kalau Ye 13-2, ACS-nya bisa 4-30.
Cracked out of his mind. 19-3 up against Liquid. Here in map 3, the pressure, it just doesn't even exist to him.
No.
Rekornya ACS tertinggi pas half stage, half itu si ini 420-an pernah. Tapi itu half ya, kayak gini half nih. Kalau udah full paling tinggi 300 berapa gitu.
Tapi kill yang
dari semua ini PCT taggingnya ya.
Oh nggak tahu gua.
Kill terbanyak masih dipegang teh botol tuh.
One of the better series we've seen out of Marv at this tournament. He has looked fantastic.
Apa ACS?
Himself and Victor's performance crashed.
Tahun lalu ya?
It's just been overshadowed a little bit by
Just tad.
Time out bagi tim ya cuma 2 kali per tim tuh time outnya 2 kali doang.
If you're Team Liquid, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Seems inevitable that OpTic close this out.
Let's let them stew in it just a little bit more.
Yeah,
just let them really stew in the fact that this is 10-2. Oh god, that is not the timing we were looking for. I guess it gives them the chance to maybe reset the momentum a little bit, but I think we're really clutching at straws if we think this is going to do much to really benefit the side of Liquid. It has just been a decimation. Again, I think lest we forget that this OpTic team always had their struggles early on. They come into the playoff stage and they have always been impossible to beat, it seems. Last time around, a top 3 finish, that was almost given question marks because of the performances of the likes of FPX, PaperX. PaperX are already gone. FPX in the lower bracket, OpTic 10-2 up in a map that would finally have them beating an EMEA squad, and I think putting any doubt out the window.
I think it's one of the worst things to have to sit in this sort of scenario as Team Liquid. They obviously have a little bit of a technical issue. All that's been worked on.
Untuk Champions 2022, Ye kill-nya paling banyak.
What's coming up next? And even
berapa dia?
Total udah 165, tapi kan OpTic udah nggak main lagi soalnya kan. OpTic, Boom udah nggak main lagi.
Iya.
That's the scariest thing here.
We just need this pistol, and if you think about it, hey, they've actually won 2 out of 5.
Termasuk yang ini apa belum diupdate?
Belum, yang ini belum dong.
They won. They lost the follow-up round and then got shut out at the start.
Oh nggak real time ya?
Enggak real time.
We need to see.
Yeah, they need someone to step up. And luckily in the last
Botol 6 match 103 kill.
Show that stature of an incredible player is still there.
For second 8 match 129. Jing 138. Ke pertama Ye 165, Yampi 160 tapi 9 match. Ye baru 8 match. Gila Ye. Tapi Ye agentnya cuma 1, Chamber. Udah. Dia juga pernah pakai agent lain. Kalau Yampi masih ada Chamber sama Sage. Gila.
Sorry Xtreem, let's go OpTic.
I will say, the one thing that excites me most about the next series, like, there was an opportunity here for OpTic to silence the crowd and even turn some of the crowd.
Dead paling kecil. Ini nggak dianggap lah, cuma 2 kali main ini.
Siapa
EDG si live, tapi dia kan main 2 kali doang dia kan.
Iya.
Nggak dianggap ini.
Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that we had the crowd turn to OpTic so quickly on this third map. But
I think it's still mixed.
KDA paling tinggi Mako 1,98.
They're there for it, but you heard
Dia
it on the
konsisten
walkout.
Dia
soalnya.
konsisten.
I was expecting the same roar, and it was just.
Tapi kalau kill death paling tinggi Ye. Jarang asis soalnya si Ye ini. 1,63 anjing, tinggi banget 1,63 kill death-nya.
Like a fan of like BBL footballist, you will have seen Xtreem do some pretty nasty things to your teams in the past. So he definitely has.
Berarti dia selalu nge-kill minimal 1 atau 2 setiap ronde.
I will say going into that attacking side, that is where you do normally see Xtreem shine. Farming up those orbs, taking the space, opening up rounds. The thing is, I do feel like just being humiliated like that early.
Oh iya, enggak, bukan paling kecil, enggak. Paling kecil tuh ini nih. Pankada paling kecil dari lawan dead per map.
Look, the first half certainly didn't go according to
Bas paling sering mati.
Iyalah, dia ngeras terus.
Tapi kan Bas Bas main Chamber sama Jet ya.
Jet.
And it will slip out from under them. And we have to begin things on one of the weaker aspects of Team Liquid's play. I believe the players are getting amped up and ready to go. And
Ye umur berapa sih?
well, these next couple seconds are going to decide everything for Team Liquid.
Ye 98 anjing.
They're already looking at that lower bracket run.
Ye masih muda 23. Anjir.
Sama kayak gue tuh dia.
Ye masih muda banget 23 tahun. Oh my god.
Tell you that now, and he really isn't that far away. But yeah, we are going to be getting back into things. A crucial pistol needed for Liquid, something they haven't been able to pull off too many times throughout this tournament, but they are in desperation for one. They are all building up outside of B. Now they've avoided that horn.
Udah match berapa? Match ketiga.
A bit of a nasty fake, but they're just sprinting it, running all the way through, looking to try and take these early fights. And they have been spotted making their move.
Oh, kena lu.
A pace.
Wah, anjir.
Right out the way. And OpTic, look.
Jalan kereta.
They seem
Dari
ready
mana?
for him. Nobody's caught off. No one's in no man's land, and they've got double stack up on the side. 2 players ready to take these duels now. A 4v2. As OpTic win every single one. And the history of Team Liquid's pistols repeats itself here.
Udah deh.
11-2.
Udah deh.
Surely that's the final straw.
Udah
for
turun deh lu,
Liquid
tim Liquid ketemu
coming into
lagi
this
deh lu
round.
sama Fnatic ya.
I mean, you take the eco, 12-2, 10 rounds in a row is pretty tough. You don't take the eco, you probably already lost.
Seru, gue sih pengennya Fnatic kalah.
It's pick your poison.
Biar ketemu tim
What is
Liquid.
the worst case scenario? Well, probably not having a buy at all.
Well, yeah.
So they're just going to have to take the pistols in this one, try and get something done with them. They are a team known for their pistol play.
Ini sih kalau ketemu lagi sih, wah.
Even
Gue
still,
nggak
the
ngerti sih itu
percentage
crowdnya
chance
kayak
of them
gimana.
stealing this one is low.
Yeah, when it comes to thrifties,
Pasti berisik
somehow the
banget
pistols
itu,
are a little
anjir.
better in their hands. When it comes to pistol rounds, not
kamu.
so much.
Oh, ke detect ya. Gak bisa TP lu. Mundur
Round
dulu ya.
14 and OpTic
Ya,
already
belok
knocking on
kiri.
Victory's door. Sheriffs all around for Team Liquid. Have spread out to look for these advantages.
Oh, gak ketahuan Dimas di mid.
I think a lot of this, these early rounds, you're looking for information, you're looking for...
Aduh.
Okay, that Prowler walked by.
Wah,
That's a decent
yay,
opportunity
offset.
for Yumpi. Something unaccounted
Lu telat
for,
kayaknya, Vin.
and OpTic lose a
Oh,
man.
telat ya?
Still, everybody else
6, 5.
diving,
Empat.
actually, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just finesse on his
Okay.
own. The Spectre's gonna have to put up some numbers, and the timing is so poor.
And it's been taken out by Yumpi. an opportunity here. Scream gets spotted.
Wah, kenapa lu malah keluar, kocak?
He's just taken over this round. 3 kills already. A lifeline maybe.
Oh, emang ambil senjata ya. Wah, jis.
But Nevera gets the kill anyway.
Gila.
Marv now left alone. He's going to be executed. If there was a hope in hell of this series, turning Liquid needed a round like that.
Apakah?
Well, thankfully, Yumpy has given it to them.
11 2 kill tuh.
Light at the end of the tunnel still pretty dim.
Tuh kan, lu liatin kan, Ye mati. Kalah. Ye matinya 3 pasti.
I give you that mental reset. Still a concern for me. Trading rounds back and forth.
Ye mati. OpTic kalah.
Previous maps and now rolling into this at 11 to 3.
Iya, Cok, jangan OT, please.
They're going to take a nice light buy. They don't have to rush this to the finish line.
Gue tidur jam 6 pagi lagi nih ntar nih.
To Team Liquid. But based on what we saw on Bind, where the classics were able to decimate a very
still
similar
has
buy.
a headhunter as well. So let's not be silly. The man can still do damage, but Liquid
ketahuan tuh ada 2 orang tuh. Iya, FNS, jangan tidur lu anjing. Ya. Elah, FNS sama Crisis 2 bottom fragger ini. Turu mulu lu berdua lu.
A long way from changing the outcome of this
map.
Ini kontrol. Wah. Wah, udah. Absen dah. Udah, saving. Cabut.
There's not even a chance of sight lines, and you can see Marv's idea. I'll take that rifle into the next round. Thank you very much.
Objektif kah?
Iya, Victor mau mati.
They won't be able to save as well, which for Demasic will be a little bit of extra frustration.
Dapat ini Vera enak tuh. Iya. Nengoknya ke situ terus anjing, lagi pintu ketutup. Geblek dah.
Uber banget nih.
Have that free opportunity to run into a site. As said, that's where the danger truly lies. If you're up against Team Liquid, having that running back.
Apakah nih Vera akan mati?
Yeah, Nevera just had 20 HP. He was the closest man to it. If that's your Spectre, sure, he's going to be swinging around that corner just looking for you, W key in the rest of the round, but no point risking an extra rifle for a fight you're probably going to lose.
Capek juga.
11 to 4.
Tryhard mulu.
So many rounds needed for Team Liquid, but a run it back online.
2 round lagi, woi, 2 round lagi.
Use that coming into round 16. And remember, the ult was what got such a heavy success early on for OpTic.
Udah bang, TL disuruh comeback capek banget.
And it was the deciding factor essentially for Team
Lu
Liquid.
pada kumbak comeback. Lu tau nggak capek ini map ketiga nih bos. Map kedua masih mending.
Now again, double up in towards the market. Rifles finally on the board. Ults not really close, particularly for the side of OpTic. Already looking to go quite direct.
Mid kontrolnya dia diliatin 2 orang. Oh, yey. Aduh, flash yey. Flash. Aduh, gak ngeliat.
He's missed him, just sat within the corner.
Waduh, game sense anjing.
And this is all the while crashes at the back of the site.
Wah, game sense. Dapat scan dari sini ya, Crisis ya. Oh, balik ke mid. Nge-push A short. Ayo Marv, saatnya lo bersinar Marv. Oh, kena tuh. Timingnya ye. Aduh, sisa 2 bottom fragger. Udah deh. Oh iya bener. Bottom lawan bottom. Bener.
He TP'd into the site and still managed to headshot Yay before he realized the danger man gone. But this wraparound could be everything. Are they even going to expect it? They will now.
Apaan sih, Crisis tolol.
Liquid. They come back to make him
nggak mau ngecek corner anjing yang paling dekat, sumpah. Langsung mau nge-swing ke gen dah. Kesel gua. Bener-bener ketahuan banget di carry sama Yey anjing nih 2 orang. Apa sih?
11-5. Nice! Another round.
Set. Anjir tuh.
Rusak bang.
Desk thought it was safe, but little did it know.
Kenapa nggak mereka bagi tugas aja? Satu lihat under event, satu langsung.
Makanya nggak percaya temen anjing, percayanya sama Yei doang.
Enggak ke comeback susah banget ini kalau mau comeback.
The thing for OpTic, they've had a
Simple
lot
lah
of
sih.
success with these
Iya,
rounds. They
cuman
take risks.
bakal
And this risk
try hard
on the
pakai
push in
banget
mid is gonna
ini.
allow them to have a very
Dapat
early
nih.
flank.
Wah,
Already
udah
on
mati.
with the rifles
Udah
coming
mati.
behind, but they've managed to root out FNS. Nobody is on the B site, but if Marv can find the value, if that flank timing can be as good as it looks like it will, he's only got the damage for now.
Nice.
The kill at least on the swing, but Ye gets traded. This is
Nice.
not as good as it could have been.
Nice,
but
nice,
at
Marv.
least he finds another. This is keeping the hope alive, and Victor can get a rifle on his way back.
Kok nggak kena?
Inches away from dropping the
Kok nggak
spike.
nge-damage si Dimas?
Ngedamage dikit Dimas tuh.
All in all,
Hilang jadi 37 tuh armor
too
dia.
bad a spot. They'll remove some utility as well. Victor
Nengok kiri Marv,
still
jangan
has all
kayak
of his
si
flashes to play with,
Precis
but he's
ya.
gonna have to
Nengok
wait for
kiri
it to
dulu
come
nih.
back online. Gonna use the
Nah,
knife
ke-detect
first.
tuh.
Flash over the top, it leaves Yumbi completely
Nah,
blind, but
aduh
it doesn't
ngawif
matter. They're gonna connect both shots
anjing.
anyway. The distance down now to just 5 rounds, but still,
Udah 6
the
aja nih.
ult starting to creep up for
Udah lah
either
end the
side.
game anjing. Mau nonton
Yeah,
match
well, I
ini
feel like he's been
berikutnya.
out of the action in a lot of rounds so far, Mitch.
Anjing
All
itu
it takes
kena
is
itu.
one, and they hit OT.
That's always going to be the problem. For OpTic, they might start to feel the tension build bit by bit, but at the end of the
11
day, they are
gini.
still ahead by such a significant amount.
Itu kayak KYD.
I think it's the right time.
Tapi versi bule.
Like you said, with that
Versi
gap down
Turki.
to 5 rounds, you're not that far away
Timeout.
from
Dari
Team
tadi
Liquid
udah
catching
dipakai
up.
timeoutnya anjir.
They'll take their time now to hopefully close it out. Remember, they've got a ton to play with. We're going to see another round where Ye has the operator. He's even got his tour de force if he wants to pull that through. I see Yumbi is going to be doing that.
Yeah, I think this is a time as well for Finesse. Like, he has said it many a time in interviews that he almost loves the haters. Like, he will almost relish the fact that the crowd is firmly in the favor of Liquid at this point, but they don't want to let it get too close.
Ye came out of the previous half smelling the roses. And it's funny to kind of say, you know, oh, he's been a bit quiet. It's like he's having a good half.
He still did well in the pistol. It's just the last couple, maybe not so much.
It's not a bad half. It's just a few rounds that have slipped away. Still 23-7. You know, it's a mediocre performance for sure. Something I'm sure anybody on Team Liquid would be after right now. We had Navera as the hero of some earlier rounds. Yumpi stepping it up here in his tour de force. What's going to be leading this round around the mid-peaks, looking for some duels. But obviously, if you're on OpTic, you're fully aware that this is in play. You're not going to be going, jumping in at angles to it.
You're also seeing Liquid use
Kalau
a fair amount
kalah
of
sih
utility into
udah
mid just
sih.
in case EA is there. If you're
2
taking
round
over
lagi
this
baru
control,
bisa
you
buy.
don't want to risk this man finding a hell of a lot of value. And actually, I think that's both Prowlers already gone for Soulcast. So very worried about this push coming through. Instead, he's taken deep B control, and now they set up into A.
You also have Demasik, ult online, so he's lurking outside B, and with all this utility and the Prowlers going through, and now they look at an A push, that might just get the push to come out of Ye.
Wah, hoki banget lu Victor anjing. Ya, elah.
The possibility of going back
Ini bukan
perhaps,
comeback ini.
but at this point, why? You just plant it down, and I don't think OpTic will even want to contest for this. Demasik almost just becomes a hunter now. Instead of lurking on one side of the map, he's going out looking to draw blood.
I don't know how
Wah
they're
ini
doing
kalau ada
it, but
Brimstone
they
enak
are
banget nih
avoiding
anjing
A.
di ultinya.
I feel like he's cursed in this half so far. He's been on the wrong side every single time, and the faster pace pushes, giving away very little information from Liquid, are really causing issues now for OpTic. As you said, Demasik, there's a lot of value if you can take these guns away, especially that operator. Even considering throwing in the paranoia, but waiting.
Saya udah tahu soalnya pasti stack di B.
To come through. He knows that they're going to be on this other side, but Ye is already going to connect one of the shots.
Kata OpTic sini lu, kata lu sini lu.
To remove some of this weaponry for Liquid, anybody they can kill off is a gun that's going to be gone for the next round. But OpTic
sini lu kata Ye lu.
This is why
Sini lu kata Ye lu.
He's just wiped out 3 of them.
Sok-sokan lu mau nge-kill gue lu, mau miskinin gue lu. Makasih ya udah ngasih gue duit ya, kata Ye. Gue bisa beliin temen gue.
Breathing a sigh of relief, I imagine. With those weapons carried forward, they can mount a full buy here and still have a decent chance. That reveal going uncontested, costing heavily as the players swing in, knowing exactly where to look. 4 between them. If you asked me at halftime, I'm not sure I thought this was possible. The attack for Team Liquid looking stellar, but as we said,
ya, terus Marv, terus Branded terus kayak lu pakai Odin.
But one round, he's gonna get his sights on a player, and that's where things can just take a turn for the worse.
Dapat nih, Marv, aduh.
5 in a row now for Liquid. Again, they've got this lurk. A different player this time, and they
ayo Crisis, jangan turun lu anjing. Ayo Ye.
Scream with that run it back, going straight through, but Ye almost avoiding him at this stage. Not trying to find him, he'll get him with the no scope, and they are pushing into this man's crosshairs. But it's only a trade out. It still gives the space back.
Itu Solka salah kenapa gua naisin.
However, the site has gone the way of Liquid once again.
Look at Yumpy. He is so late getting around here. It's being spotted for though. Finesse, wise to his tricks, has now caught the kill.
Lu tahu kan dua-duanya ada di backside kan?
Nightfall on each side, thrown out. Solkas in trouble.
Wah anjing Xtreem pakai
on the backside is taking kill after kill. The clutch player of Crashies, he's been so damn good.
Crashies tai lah.
This time it's not happening. Team Liquid are on the way back. 11-8.
Respect streamer kayak ini.
And OpTic have got
Gak usah respect streamer anjing, udah map 3 gak usah respect streamer. Goblok.
There's no way. I still can't believe until we see an 11.
Apa kars Devin masih berlanjut guys.
Ini apakah kars Devin masih berlanjut?
That's already enough for me. A 2v3 clutch. Even with Ye being on the right side, even with
apa tuh kemana tuh
and that's the thing, that was their sort of riskier purchase. Now they come in with purely SMGs and well, a tour de force for Ye.
Oh Ye udah mulai anjing lu semua, lu tolol, lu semua tim tolol gitu. Maju aja sendiri lah anjing. Oh berani banget ya anjing, TP lu.
Dapat gak TP dia
gila.
Itu kena kah si Xtreem?
Kayaknya kena deh.
If he goes down, this round's practically over. Got stingers and specters, pistols. Sure, there's a chance for them, but you want Ye to stay alive.
Si Ye lah, yang baru nembak si Ye.
Iya juga ya.
So Cass is trying to throw in a fade.
Aduh.
They're pushing him. He's gonna get the inflation and the spam through, but the flash leaves him blind. Even still there, they're gonna make their move in towards the B side instead. The whole team going through. Finesse has been able to find one through the smoke, and Crashies at the back of the site has been hard to beat. Even still though, the IGL is stepping up. What is that
gitu
from
dong.
Finesse? He still has a teammate at the back of the site as well, and now the rotation is coming through.
Tolol
Finesse has done
anjing.
enough.
Resi sih nge-bait temen loh. Lu lihat Crisis ngapain? Crisis ngapain di back?
12 found at last. This was the round you feared as an EMEA fan. OpTic finding success. And sure, Liquid have got the economy to fall back on, but the ult economy in favor of OpTic.
Temen lu udah ngebunuh 2. Lu malah main drone.
Anjing. Gak pede dia.
29 kills for Ye. Finesse.
Sampai di wallbang sama Ye anjing. Kata Ye udahlah lu main drone mulu anjing.
Might be a little bit of aggression coming out from Yumpy. Just looking for that initial fight. Ult in favor firmly with OpTic. And already they're going to take down Demasig. This was not the start they were looking for.
Mati dah lu dah. Mati. Wah, kena 2. Udah. GG udah.
And now Navira and Yumpy
udah.
To keep them in the upper bracket.
Udah GG ini. Udah confident sangat ini.
Udahlah bang, ras aja lah.
Power bracket lah anjing, lawan lu Ye.
He'll be caught, but always ready to trade. Every advantage closed out on an OpTic. win this one with back-to-back 13-8s. They're moving on and besting the
Devin
EMEA team
terpatahkan
for
hari
the first time.
Yeah, another curse broken.
Enggak, di RX kan menang, tapi di RX.
Iya, gue pilih di RX.
They weren't very good at beating EMEA teams. Well, you know what? Screw that. They did it as well.
Saatnya aku nonton.
Over in Iceland.
Tapi anjing bunda gua kata Ye itu.
Ya gue mau lihat ACS-nya Ye dulu berapa. Baru gue tidur.
And they're not going to be toppled by Liquid this time around. An impressive showing from a team that are gunning for another title. The fact is though, Liquid have proven that you really don't want to match up against them in that lower bracket. They fought fiercely, especially in this second half. They started to make me believe.
Justru dia pergi sebelum lo ngomong kayak gitu, Ton.
Ye finished this game with 30 kills, and the next closest on the server was 17. Victor was the one with
final kill Ye berapa ya?
I mean, this guy
hit
another level. That first half was phenomenal, and the second half was still better than most players could ever hope for. Some clutches like this from Victor. Mind games being played. They didn't know coming in here and decimate on an individual level. They outclassed Liquid in so many of these rounds. Showing us some of the highest power gameplay we've seen to date. What a pleasure it is to watch OpTic Gaming in action.
We're not going to the desk just yet, but when we do, I do have a question for Achilles.
Sama-sama ngeras pakai AWP OP.
That's the question I have because
Alah, diem lu kresis anjing. Di carry doang lu.
It's a hard thing to argue. And in some of these rounds where he came around with that headhunter, he just didn't miss. 2-1. OpTic Gaming putting out the fist bumps. And there'll be celebrations tonight as they have bested an EMEA in the series. Before, they had one map against this region and 10 losses. And now,
Ye 30 kill, anjing, tertibom dia. Tanpa OT tertibom tuh hard carry anjing.
Or they'll play exit and we'll get a battle of NA. Like, the storylines are just writing themselves at this point. Like, either we get probably the big bosses of EMEA.
Berapa ACS dia ya? Gue mau lihat dah. Harusnya sih 380 aja dapet ya.
It'll be one hell of a game, but honestly, they deserve that victory today, showing they're a contender once more.
They deserve the victory because of Ye, gitu dong, Caster. Kasih tahu aja hard truth-nya.
This team has proven themselves time and time again. Liquid on the stage there.
Gak apa-apa, Xtreem. Seenggaknya tim lu inilah performanya satu tim oke lah. Bagus-bagus semua, jelek-jelek semua gitu. Kalau sebelah bagus-bagus Ye, jelek-jelek semua anjing.
They are bringing back an agent from the dead. Like, that is also one of his abilities, which works perfectly. So it didn't work on Ascent today.
OpTic lawan siapa, Bang? OpTic lawan DRX.
Seru tuh anjing. Fantastic game out of the side of OpTic, and now
enggak, OpTic bakal lawan antara Except atau Fnatic.
Lot yang ketemu di
DRX ketemu sama Lot ya.
Because I feel like in that first half it was Rifle Ye.
Yeah,
right. Antara yang menang nanti ini.
Good luck picking that one because I'm not going anywhere near it.
Had some good headhunter rounds, but
lanjut gak, Bang? Kagak.
Just uncontested.
Why is Victor 9?
MVP-nya Ye. Operator, rifle, pistol. Emang anjing.
Show voting anyways. This is a vote for you guys to get involved in. The QR code you saw down below. Make sure to get your vote in during this break. The analyst desk will tell you which Ye is the ultimate victor of the in-zone MVP. What a fantastic game this was. Good luck following that.
Jam 1 lah kayaknya Asia.
If anyone's going to, it's them.
Setengah 1.
They might. We'll find out in the
setengah 1 boleh. 1:15.
Biasa setengah jam sih biasa breaknya. 1:15 lah ya, 12:45. Ini sih gue yakin ya, upper final OpTic lawan DRX sih, entah kenapa.
Wah, gue sih masih ada load, Bang.
Aduh, ini sih load juga GG sih.
Load juga ngeri soalnya, Bang.
Tapi DRX nggak tahu deh.
GG OpTic.
Mana kenapa jadi iklan? Gue mau ngeliat babi lah, udah gue lihat aja di sini lah anjing, kelamaan nungguin ini guys. Kita lihat aja ya, masih TBD lagi dua-duanya.
Belum di itu.
Kalau Diarek sama OpTic, Bang Devin pilih siapa? Gue pilih Diarek. Karena Diarek balance timnya. OpTic itu hard carry yay. Dari lawan boom pun hard carry yay, cok. Lu bayangin lawan boom aja dia bisa 2-1. Lu mau menang lawan OpTic kan? Pick up breeze. Gila, Nivera tapi bro, Nivera headshot rate-nya 65%, cok. Dia pakai Guardian mulu sih si Nivera ya.
Nivera sih mantep ya.
65% tuh gede banget headshot rate 65%. Gila.
Oh, pas Copenhagen OpTic dibantai 3-1 sama Xset. Anjir.
Crisis. Tuh, di Breeze, Yay. Lu bayangin dong, di Breeze mereka kalah, tapi Yay match MVP. Ascent match MVP. Di Bind, Yay juara kedua. Yay nggak pernah bottom fragger, cok. FNS nih turu mulu, lu lihat nih. FNS turu nih.
Itu di mana lu liatnya, Vin? VLR.gg.
Iya, VLR.gg.
Terus di bagian mananya?
Tim Liquid lawan OpTic. Tuh klik aja. Terus ada scroll ke bawah, bisa ngeliat overview, ada mapnya. Gila, all map 309. Dia berarti Yay resmi jadi yang paling tinggi sekarang. ACS all map. ACS itu apa bang? Average combat score. Jadi menunjukkan seberapa sering lu itu terlibat dalam peperangan gitu. Battle 1v1 lah, 1v2 lah, pokoknya lu sering battle deh gitu. Kalau ACS lu rendah kayak FNS sama Crisis, itu artinya lu sering avoid battle. gitu.
Dan avoid keculik.
Ya lu keculik dan lu avoid battle. Lu kan
dibokong kayak gitu.
Mereka sering eco si Crazy sama si FNS, sering saving mereka.
Yang buset plusnya plus 29 anjing si Ye.
Parah.
Xtreem plus 6. Buset killnya all map 69.
Very nice. Xtreem juga killnya 50. Soulcast 49. Soulcast lagi nyala sih, jujur di match ini. Yampi malah turun nih. 39. Tapi tetap yang paling turu adalah FNS.
Ini min 6
Dimasik
dong, parah. Turu.
Ya dimasik sih parah, cuma kan mereka kalah gitu loh. Iya, kalau FNS Crisis kan menang nih. Tapi minus 6 nih FNS nih anjing. Turu anjing.
Victor minus 2.
Dimas Anjay mabar.
It just keeps getting better. It's the most competitive champs that we've had yet.
Belum
It's the most competitive, I think, global tournament that we've had as well. And the culmination, you get the top 8 teams coming together in this fashion. I mean, 2 heavy hitters going at it, man. I mean, this was a fantastic series from beginning to end.
Tapi gue ngerasanya ya teman-teman ya, dari OpTic ngelawan Boom aja nih kita lihat ya. Nih, dari OpTic lawan Boom. Lu lihat FNS itu bottom fragger. Tuh. Ini lu tahu kenapa Crisis bisa dapat banyak? Gara-gara Ace. Gara-gara Ace. Crisis jadi juara 2. Lu lihat FNS lawan Boom aja 3143 minus 12 lawan Boom loh. Boom. Anjing. Lawan rookie loh. Emang FNS tuh ditendang loh abis ini FNS anjing.
Demen turu anjing.
Tapi game kedua oke FNS.
Ya all map.
All map.
Tuh.
Min 12.
FNS selalu bottom fragger lawan Boom anjing.
Tapi ada kalanya mereka cuma ngasih info nggak sih?
Iya kalau util mah iya, mereka pasti tetap ngasih util. Cuma maksudnya lu tetap underperform karena kan dengan lu gak bisa ngekill, lu sama aja apa ya?
4 lawan 5.
Iya 4 lawan 5 gitu. FNS IGL
2 no?
Terus IGL kenapa tuh?
282 ACS-nya tuh.
ACS siapa?
Ye?
Oh enggak si Fenes.
Ye 282.
Iya tadi, game yang tadi.
Hah, yang game tadi bukan 370-an.
Enggak, 282 barusan dikasih lihat.
Nah, nggak akurat. Yang bener yang FLR.
Parah banget.
Yang ini official Riot.
Fanatik ya, fan fanatik banget loh ya. Ya, sama Ye.
Yang Sen dia 373 di sini.
Padahal sih ya pakai operator banyak ya.
Pakai tiap defense.
Defend dong dia makanya.
Defend pun juga rifle.
Iya.
Terus sama ultinya.
Ya ultinya kan operator jatuhnya.
Iya, jarang kan. Emang kalau dia udah ngeluarin ultinya next roundnya tetap masih ada kalau dia nggak mati.
Enggak lah, kan cuma 50 round. Ulti mah udah spend di round itu doang.
Iya, kayak jarang deh, kecuali dia maling ya.
Oh, 282 tuh tadi ACS si Ye dari semua match.
Oh,
total dari dia awal main sampai yang terakhir tadi. Wah, Crazy anjing, Crazy Costanza. Ya
GL-nya kan dia.
Feels good to break the curse finally.
Fenes.
GL
lagi di interview.
Oh, dia yang di interview. Orang lu body kick bego.
How does that affect the mental? Even in map 3, when you guys are steamrolling them and we're hearing TL, how do you keep up that mental game?
Oh, it makes me
Parah.
angry. As you could clearly see, I was getting up a lot because it just triggered me right from the start when I saw.
Tahun lalu berpengaruh jadi IGL bang waktu di tim NV. Oh gitu. Enggak, gua nggak peduli tahun lalu. Yang gue lihat tahun ini.
Obviously, as half the fan base, can't really beat them in that battle, but hopefully, or luckily, we were able to beat them in the game.
Absolutely, and today you did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking more about the mental game, you guys have had a long time off. It's over a week, maybe 8 days off. Do you think that was an advantage or a disadvantage?
I think an advantage. We don't get much time off, and especially at tournaments, we usually have to play over and over again because we're always in the lower bracket. So it felt nice kind of coming up from the upper bracket. Feels nice, obviously, winning the playoffs. It was nice, kind of refreshing, and kind of redoing our playbook a little bit.
Absolutely. So coming into the first map of the game, Team Liquid obviously looked extremely dominant on Breeze. What adjustments did you make? Besides just saying, hey guys, first map, not our map, we're going to make these adjustments that we know we're comfortable with. What other adjustments did you make coming into map 2?
I mean, we knew we were in it because Bind was next. It's it's literally our staple map. We kind of just hoped that we'd be better on Breeze. We changed our comp for it as well, and we just can't figure out Breeze. But yeah, luckily for us, everyone was on point on Bind. Like I said, this team's very resilient. I think at this point, everybody knows that. We all know that. So we've been down 1-0 like a lot in our careers.
Iya, so OpTic dari tadi. OpTic gak pernah clean sheet ya, soal 2-1 ya.
5-0 at one point on attack side and kind of just took that
yang gitu 20.000-nya.
Map 2, and then obviously map 3 we just reset.
Totally, and you looked dominant on map 3, but at the end it did get a little dicey for just a second.
I made a mistake.
They were really creeping up. What were you thinking in that moment, especially like I said, crowd is cheering TLTL. How did you finally close it out?
I mean, honestly, first of all, that energy was incredible. Even if they were supporting the other team, it was kind of nice to see
pengen aku gandeng deh.
get lifted up, thinking they were going to make that comeback. It's kind of cute, but I'm happy that we were able to close it out. I made a really big mistake.
Suruh FNS yang ngomong biar ada gunanya. Thank you Zazam 10.000-nya. Nggak gitu.
And then finally, if you are to make it all the way through to the finals, who's your dream matchup?
FPX?
FPX?
They beat us last time, so.
So you're coming back for more?
Yeah.
And who do you have winning later today, Xed or Fnatic?
I hope Fnatic, as much as NA people are going to hate me. I'm just over playing NA teams, so I'd like to play a European team in the upper bracket.
All right, so we're going to be seeing a Fnatic OpTic Monday match.
I hope so.
All right, well, that is it. OpTic have taken it over Team Liquid. This is Finesse here, and then we are throwing to a quick break, but when we come back, do not go anywhere.
Oke, sayang.
We have another NA EMEA
Aku tidur dulu ya, sayang.
It's Xed and Fnatic.
Kamu semangat nge-MC-nya. Oke. Ya guys, udahan dulu. Thank you guys. Selamat malam.
Thank you, Vin.
Thank you. Good night. Oke guys, kita sudahan dulu untuk streaming kali ini. Semoga kalian enjoy. We'll see each other again tomorrow. Hopefully kita main Vayne mungkin besok ya. Jadi jangan lupa kasih like, share, subscribe, dan join membership. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a good night, have a good day, have a good sleep. Stay safe, healthy, and stay at home. Love you, live in nation. Cheers guys, and bye-bye. Thank you semuanya. Good night. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. Peace out. Bam.